Oh no, look in the mirror, it's a battle. I shouldn't have smoked so much weed. I shouldn't have done so much blow. Don't you know sometimes? Oh, don't you know sometimes? That's how I roll. That's how I roll. Oh no, look in the mirror, it's a stranger looking back at me. Room to room on the Titanic, rocking like I see. Don't you know sometimes? Don't you know sometimes? And the pressure gets too much, and I hear the sirens call. Say maybe just one more time. Say maybe just one more time. That's how I roll.
Welcome everybody, we'll get started in a minute. I just had to play this song, it's one of my favorite ones.
Don't you know sometimes? Oh, don't you know sometimes? Oh, don't you know sometimes? Oh, don't you know sometimes? That the pressure gets too much, and I hear the sirens call. Say maybe just one more time. Say maybe just one more time.
Just waiting to get more people in here. I want as many people here when I start telling the story, because you all want to hear this shit. Because that's just how I roll.
Never say never, someone never say never again. I say never again. Always say to never say never again. I say never again. I say never again.
Cause that's just how I roll. That's just how I roll.
Oh no.
So this is a song that I did a while ago about priests and my experience with the church. We'll get started in just a minute, folks. All right, folks, ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls of over 18 and ups. Welcome. Oops, I'm clicking the wrong thing. Welcome, everybody, to Slim Talk. We have had multiple people ask to hear stories of mine, and I figured why not just do a stream of talking about my stories.
And if they didn't ask, he's doing it anyway.
Exactly. And this is your opportunity to ask me questions about what I've done in my past, and hopefully get me to divulge more insane, interesting stories. Because what I always forget is I lived the life, so to me this is normal. But I don't realize how weird it is that I've worked for fetish corporations or swinger companies and things like that, So here's your opportunity to ask me whatever you want. We're going to be here for a while. So how are you doing, Widows?
I'm high as fuck, bro.
Awesome. That's what we want to hear.
And I haven't talked to Brainless in a while, man.
Yeah. How you doing?
Strikes and gutters, ups and downs, man. Just as Wooderson said in Dazed and Confused, you just got to keep on living, man. LIVIN.
Exactly.
Folks.
How are you doing, Brainless?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Sweet, good to hear. So let's say hi to the side chat real quick. Lucifer, folks, J Troy, we have the 6 drops. We got the security monitor lizard. If you're available, I sent you a link, sir. We have our lovely Melissa. How are you doing? If you would like to come on, just let me know. Yes, and you may come on as well. Anybody who's in the side chat who can get a hold of us in the Decimal Chords, go ahead and let us know if you would like to join us. Let's see. We got a nerdy rodent. Welcome.
Brainless, I like your new picture, man.
Yeah, GSM made that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We can't give away all the secrets in nerdy, but we'll give out some.
No, we will not. I put a stop. I put a stop on that right now. So
right.
it is. So it is. This may be Slim's house right now, but when it comes to things like that, I have to say nay.
Yeah. Hey, The Freemasons. You don't mess with them.
Look,
Well,
don't start with that shit.
The thing is like their secrets aren't really secrets. I mean, there's stuff, yeah, but I mean, it's not really as crazy as they all, like it's silly what the conspiracy theorists, what they think is actually happening, and that's what's funny, and not what actually goes on behind closed doors at those organizations.
This is a conversation that Slim and I were actually having yesterday.
Yeah.
And I told him, we are a charitable organization. We are a charitable brotherhood, indeed, because that's one of the things that we teach.
Yes.
But the secrets and everything that we pass along to the person coming in happens in the ritual. And that's where all of that lies. And it's like my dad used to say, we don't have secrets. We just got shit we can't tell everybody.
Exactly. And again, the conspiracy theorists don't understand the concept of organizations like that. And they think that everything is way crazier than it really is. And it's hilarious. Sweet. Awesome. I sent you the link, Melissa.
Nice.
So go ahead and come in. Hey, Demon. And if there's anybody else in the side chat who's not said hello to us, go ahead and say hi. Go ahead.
Vilas, by the way, is going to come in a bit.
Yay, I haven't talked to her in forever.
Okay, so what I'm going to do
then... Hey, you streamed way too late for us!
I know that. Look.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So while we're waiting for my queen and a couple other people to get in, I'm going to show another video right quick of some of the insane things that I have done performing, which you may not have.
Can't show that on YouTube.
Yeah, that's the video I showed you earlier, not this one. Okay. Yeah, we're not showing that one right now. But
I was a little confused. I was a little confused by the hanging upside down by the leather chaps. But I'll talk to you about that later.
They paid money for it to be done. So, I mean, if you pay me enough money, I'll do it. So what we're going to do is we're going to show a video right quick. I'm going to turn down the music a little bit, and we're just going to speed it up because it is really just...
That's an angry man right there.
Yeah. But this is me getting my chest pierced 8 times or something like that in this video. So here we blow while we're waiting for more people. Hello, Melissa.
I've said it before. Hello, Miss Melissa. Slim, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You are one of the most interesting friends that I have.
I agree with that.
I hope so.
Look, I have a host of friends. I've had friends who have been in some of the most incredible local hardcore bands ever. I've had friends that, do art and skateboard and all this other kind of stuff, and they're very talented. But Slim takes the cake. He takes the motherfucking cake, man.
Thank you. I take that as a huge compliment.
That's exactly how I meant it.
yeah, because I keep forgetting how weird it is that, look, I got people stapling money to me. To me, that's every day. But to anybody who's not me, that's fucking insane. I forget how weird it is.
Are you and Steve-O distantly related?
Yeah. So just more money being stapled to me.
Just don't get a life-size portrait of yourself tattooed on your back.
Oh, hell yeah.
Why not?
My back's halfway. Okay, so this is my friend piercing my chest with, I believe, huge gauge. Sure. Huge gauge needles. And I think we did 8 down my chest, which these are not surface piercings that you should do on anybody. You should not pierce it this way. The only reason we did it is because we were just trying to have fun. So
Slim, I know a tattoo that you should get on your stomach.
Cheers.
Thug life.
Yeah, exactly.
Just really big in old English letters.
Y'all remember when Adam Levine was playing the halftime show at the Super Bowl, and he had California, he's got that tattooed on his belly, and all those big fat hillbilly guys wrote beer on their bellies and stuff.
Yeah.
They wrote Coors Light. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go get the entire Jaeger logo tattooed on my right butt cheek.
There you go. I'll get Shiner Rock.
if you get the Subway logo that they've made for this promotion tattooed on you, you get a lifetime of free subs.
From Subway.
Yay!
But it has to be a foot. It has to be a
bread.
foot long. It has to be a foot long tattoo of that logo.
Fuck that.
Of
Yeah,
Subway?
no, I almost did it, and the logo says like Team Sports or Team something because it's for baseball or something.
Oh, gross.
So yeah, I almost was like, I'll get it on the bottom of my foot.
Right.
I'll get it in between my butt cheeks.
Yeah,
there you go. Hey, there you go.
No, you get half the logo on one butt cheek right by the crack, and get the
other
half.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but like, who won't want free Subway for the rest of their life? Like, that's
look. There are
moist
some
bread.
places. There are some places I would like free food from for life. But Subway ain't one of them.
Listen, it's all like turkey based. Like they're ham. It's not even ham. It's turkey based.
Oh, it's not even about what they put on the bread. The bread is moist. Like it's.
Yeah,
ugh,
I know.
It's gooey.
And I would say again, that is one of the greatest words in the English language.
Moist.
Moist, yes. And then there is a video game, or there is a game that if you get their logo tattooed on you, you get a lifetime subscription to their game. And I don't remember what it is.
It's still better than anybody getting a Trump tattoo. So I'd say if you get a Subway tattoo, hey, at least you're getting free sandwiches, right? You're thinking about stuff, right? Like I'm gonna have a meal every day. Okay.
Exactly. Like you could be
like
you could be homeless and you could still eat every day.
Right.
Hey, Shani and Rev, get the Subway tattoo.
Yeah.
Get it right on Rev's face. Just that big Subway logo right across it.
On the middle of his forehead.
Listen,
And
Shani's got enough real estate.
God damn it, Slim.
6 drops. Well, oh my God, she's got a whole planet. 6 drops, I would believe you.
I bet you $20 I can moon this dude.
Listen, I almost got my nose pierced this past weekend and with my daughter, and she was hyperventilating, so I didn't get mine done because she freaked out and wouldn't get hers done. And we're watching 6 do this, and she's like, I can't do it.
Take her to Slim and just let Slim do it.
So there's me stapling my cock.
I'm going to be honest. My child is very small town.
Yeah.
She hadn't seen a lot of the world. She'd probably be like, what's up, bro? What's going on with you?
Yeah, exactly.
The fuck is up, man?
Yeah, like, why are you doing this to yourself?
Yeah.
And Slim's answer would be, because it's fun.
Well, my question, Slim, is do you not feel pain or do you like pain?
So, I think that I feel pain in a different way than most humans do. Mm-hmm. I don't think my body feels it as like everybody else does. I've talked to a couple doctors and a couple different people in the medical industry.
There is a medical thing where people don't feel pain like that, but I was just wondering because, some people like it and some people can't feel it.
No, totally. Yeah. I only like hurting myself. I really am discomfort. I'm very uncomfortable with other people hurting me unless I have
understand
to.
What you're saying, yeah.
But I'm not a sub. Like I can't let somebody whip. I mean, I'll get whipped a little bit. I'll try out toys just to know what they're like, having them try it on me. But I really don't like that position. I would rather be on top.
He doesn't like other people pain that other people inflict on him. And lets people staple stuff to his dick.
Yeah, well,
that seems like minor pain at this point, right? Watching just what happened to his chest, that seems minor.
Yeah.
Because those are big
needles. The other thing I think about is the dollar bills. When you're like, oh, I just made $100, $200 in just tips from Staples. Screw it, I don't care that I just had to go through a little bit of pain. Now I can pay freaking rent, or now I can pay my car payment, or it's like screw it.
Well, and it's
that is $100, right?
Sometimes the mundane 9 to 5 cubicle job is a bigger pain than stapling a dollar bill to your dick. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
mental pain hurts more than physical pain most of the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Mental pain stays longer.
And then the other thing is, I can do a gig where I only work for 10 minutes.
Right.
You know, like I'm on stage for 10 freaking minutes. I might have to get there an hour early before the event, hang out. I drink a couple beers or a beer. I eat a little bit of food, usually a cheeseburger, hang out, have fun. And then I jump up on stage for like 10, 20 minutes, maybe 45. And those are my longest gigs, but that's for huge festivals and conventions and stuff. But again, I would do 45 minutes of work and they'd throw me a bunch of cash, you know, like I make a crap ton to.
Right.
So it's like, what would I rather do? Not downputting anybody doing anything else, but I could be a bar back, I could be a body piercer. There's a handful of things I could do, but I can literally just go on stage and swallow a sword and get paid a couple $100 just for 10 minutes of work.
How did you figure out you could swallow sharp objects? Did you just try it out one time? Like,
we're getting into the stories. Perfect.
Okay.
I'm glad that you're doing this because we will eventually start with my first memory, but I'm glad that we're already going somewhere. Thank you. This is exactly why I had everybody on, is so that you could ask me questions and I can tell.
I've always wanted to ask somebody that, like, how'd you know you could swallow that?
Yeah. So my progression.
Well, that's what people think when they talk to you.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
So my progression into sideshow is I began doing magic in 5th grade. I had come up with like a 45-minute set. My mom, there was a magic shop in Seaport Village where my dad had his art gallery. And while I was there, my dad would just be like, go to the magic shop. And so we would go to the magic shop and the people who owned it were like, crap, these kids keep fucking coming around. But then they figured out if they taught me magic tricks, I would run and go tell my dad and then get the money and buy it. So I ended up with all these magic tricks that the gentleman who ran the store taught me. And then I came up with a 45-minute set. And I don't know how this exactly happened, but my mom convinced the school to have an assembly where all the classes came in. This wasn't a talent show. Everybody came in, and for 45 minutes, I did my magic set for the whole school in 5th grade.
Oh, wow.
From there, the kids told their parents about my set, and I got corporate gigs. So cool. when they were having a corporate picnic or something, they hired me as entertainment. I dressed up as Santa's little helper, an elf, Easter bunny, a leprechaun, anything that was little, you know, because I was only in 5th grade. So it was right, you know, so any kind of small like character I could easily do. And so while the parents are off getting drunk or having their little business meeting thing, I have all the kids around me and I'm doing whatever and making balloon things and, you know, entertaining. So that was my introduction into entertainment. I began playing saxophone in elementary school. I think it was 5th or 6th grade, I believe. Then a little later on began playing guitar, and I had a band for a while, like as a little teen band, and then got older. Began putting on raves and was going to college at the time, but I was going for fashion was my
like major.
The major. There we go. And then they put in a $2 million sound studio in the college I was going to. And I was like, the best tech for music. So I went there and I took my major then was music theory. And I was taught classical and blah, 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 yakety schmackety. I recorded my first album then. It was probably 2002, 2003 or something like that, I want to say. Then putting on raves, we would rent the sound equipment. They would drop it off. I would set it all up. And then I'd run the sound for the events, even for bands and stuff. We would have a 10 kegger that we would have at this underground location. and we would have 6 bands go on, and I
Love
would
a
just,
kegger.
oh yeah,
Just saying. Sorry.
and then and we'll get to those stories about the 10 keggers later, because there's a lot of stories involved in those.
Oh, I'm sure. I can only imagine.
Because we did it a bunch, and we also used to put on raves in a pet cemetery. But again, we'll talk about those a little bit later. So I moved to Colorado in 2006. There was a gay bar here that was a double wide trailer on the edge of town. I went there. Yeah. I went there, and I was already DJing funky house music. So I went there and I said, "Can I DJ for you guys?" And they had a patio, and the owner or the manager was like, "Yeah, go DJ outside." So I went and began doing that. Then the lady who was putting on the goth industrial nights, the punk nights, and the heavy metal nights, her and I got in close, and I began helping her run those nights at the gay bar. Oh, well, it was a gay bar 2-3 nights out of the week, and the rest of the time it was a punk venue. I mean, it was like everything. We just did everything there because it was illegal as crap, and it was outside of town. So the pigs left us alone.
Yeah, because they don't want to come out to the country. Yeah, they don't want to come out to the country for just beer,
and they don't care.
Whatnot.
Yeah, and they don't care. They don't care about us. They're like,
that's where all country kids get our partying.
Let the gays be out there and do it. So if they got called, they would be out there, and we were pretty good about not having underage people in our venue, even though like it was kind of tough, and we were a little lax, but we usually didn't. So they didn't come out. Then that closed, and we moved our events to Hodie's Half Note, and it was the 3rd largest stage in town at the time. As I was putting on goth industrial nights and metal nights, I got frustrated as a musician, realizing that there's no Marilyn Mansons anymore, or Rob Zombies, right? I'm not going to get famous making music. So during the shows, I would have this orchestrated with one of the bands, to where when they're playing a certain song, I had beer bottles hidden behind the wedges so you couldn't see them, and I would run from the back of the venue and run up and jump up on stage, and I would get up on stage, and I would grab one of the beer bottles and I'd break it over my head, and I would start eating the glass, and then I would slash my chest open live on stage with a beer bottle.
That's a show. You got everybody got their money's worth at that show, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I would have fainted.
So I was Gigi Allening it. I was Marilyn Mansoning it. You know what I'm saying? I know I was not the first person to do this crap. I definitely picked it from somewhere else. Well, anyways, that was what I thought was sideshow. Then I began trying to, I had already gathered a bunch of information about human blockhead, weightlifting from piercings, and other things when I was younger, because I saw a real life sideshow. So I pulled out some of that stuff, and I began trying to go over it and teach myself. And one night we were doing a show at Hodie's Half Note, and a gentleman with a bed of nails, a bucket of glass, a hammer and nails and everything was walking down the street. So we brought him in, and after the show, after he got done doing everything, I went up, "Hey, bro, I've already toured. I've already been lots of places doing entertainment. If you teach me these things, I'll take you around the world," is what I told him. And luckily for me, this gentleman taught me how to take the nail, pound it in your face, eat light bulbs, eat broken glass, walk on glass, lay on the bed of nails, and have a cinder block broken over your chest. Things like that. Hopefully Melissa will come back. She said, there we go. Okay,
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
On Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So then this gentleman taught me how to do most of the living sideshow act. Sword swallowing wasn't one of them, but I was practicing with something that you shouldn't. I'll just say it because you do not do it with this. I was practicing with a coat hanger. What you used to do, and it's very dangerous. Nobody do this. There's way better ways. If you want to really learn how to do sideshow, I actually teach classes for a little bit of money. I can't just give out the secrets. So if you want to learn something, anybody just hit me up and I will walk you through process. Anyways, you used to take a coat hanger and you'd stretch it out long ways, and then you'd take a sandpaper and you'd sand down all the barbs.
Yeah.
And then that's what you used to practice with. That's what most people did in the olden days to learn how to sword swallow. So I began doing that. And then one day I get a message from one of my friends and he goes, how are you? I'm sure you're learning how to sword swallow. He's like, how are you fucking doing it? And I told him, he goes, please don't. And he's like, I have friends who they've broken in their throat and like popped out, and they've gotten lead poisoning from using ones that are made out of shit metal and and then rust. And so he's like, don't. And I was like, well, tell me. And so he told me what I needed to do. Go to a toy store and find certain things, and then you use those. I didn't find exactly those, but I found other things that I began using myself. And that's what I teach my students now to use, is what I found out to use on myself. Then one day, Boobzilla was in town, was in Denver, and I went to go visit her. And as we were having a beer, maybe I was and maybe she wasn't. I don't think she drinks. I don't remember. But I was having a beer and we were on her lawn and we were about to go busk down the street or downtown Denver at 16th Street Mall. And I was like, when can I swallow a sword? and you know, like, I'm like, when do I know I'm ready? When do I shove the metal down my gullet, you know? And she goes, what? You haven't swallowed a sword yet? She runs into the house and she freaking grabs a sword. This was a sword that she had made with, I want to say his name is Red the Giant. It may be somebody else. I don't remember exactly, but she was taught how to hand make a sword. She pulls out her personal sword that she swallowed around the country, that I'm pretty sure, and just says, you know, you have to do the posture. You have to do certain things to make sure your body's lined up. You keep your feet shoulder width apart. There's a handful of other things you do just to make sure. Went and did that, and sword went down. I went, bent over, got back up, and pulled it out. And within 11 minutes of her handing me a sword and us talking about it, I swallowed that sword. I did practice for 2 years before that with other objects. But yeah, and then Nigma moved in with us, me and my girlfriend at the time, in Denver, and he taught me how to make my own swords. So the swords that I use are all hand. I mean, they were already pieces of metal that were in the shape of a sword, but I went through and I had to cut off about half of a foot, I think, off the end, so that I could fit it down my gullet. And then I have a sword from Enigma that he used to use when he was in the UK. So he swallowed it in the UK, and I have that sword behind me that was his, that he gave me.
So basically, from the 5th grade on, dude's been hustling. Okay, you guys. He knew what he wanted to do. He was a showman from the 5th grade on.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we can all see like he's been born with entertainment in his blood.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is clear.
Just born entertainers. Yeah.
Yeah. He's an attention whore in the right way.
For sure. I was born into an art family. The family's been casting pewter since the 70s, and I when my dad would put on art shows to like show off the new sculptures and stuff, he actually would have me come on to the microphone, and I would talk to the people to get them to buy stuff. You know, I would be young as crap, and I'm like, yeah, and then this, and and you'd say crap, and then
come on, lady,
be like,
you want this painting of
you want this,
yeah,
lady.
yeah, exactly. So that was the other thing. I've been in front of a microphone and in front of people my whole life, and it's obviously not for everybody, but if you do get the bug, then you're sold. Like, as soon as the audience cheers for you, or when you control an audience and get them to do exactly what you want, if you can get them to gasp at the same time, step back at the same time, cheer, clap, react, say what you ask them to say, and they say it back. To me, like there's no other high than that. It's amazing how awesome. Well, for me, again, it's not for everybody. I understand that, and
I can imagine, but yeah.
And I do have social disorder things where like I really don't like talking people in public or one-on-one, or I would rather be in front of a whole crowd than sitting by myself with just one other person.
Well, and because the whole crowd, you're kind of controlling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not making like small talk and whatnot. Like it's your career. You've got it all lined up. Whereas if you're just here with some idiot, you know, like you gotta, oh, how is it going? Like, we don't care. How's it going?
Yeah, exactly. And exactly. Ox, make them gag. I mean, gasp. And so the Jim Rose Circus Sideshow, when they were doing shows, they used to count how many people would run to the bathroom or how many people they made puke. So I have only had a handful of times that people have ran to the bathroom. I've never had anybody puke in front of us, except for myself, and we'll talk about that in a little minute.
What about how many people have fainted?
Not in front of us. We've had people that got woozy, and we've watched them like kind of stumble out. But one of the things that I came to the conclusion of is I make less money the more people that leave or make them uncomfortable. So my whole goal is to make you stuck and stay there and not being able to leave.
Yeah, save the passing out stuff.
Just on the edge.
Last trick. Yeah.
Finding the edge.
You can only make people.
That's the important thing.
You can only make people want to puke for so long until they do. So you have to keep making a roller coaster where they're like, I'm gonna puke. Haha, that's funny. Oh, let me listen. Oh, and then react, and then I'm gonna puke. You know, you have to keep this roller coaster.
Stop watching too, where they're like, I'm queasy, but I gotta keep watching.
Yeah.
That's called edging.
It's like a train wreck. You don't want to stare, but you can't look away.
Exactly.
Or a
hardcore action.
A hardcore wrestling match is kind of the same thing. You know, the broken glass and the.
Oh, I love watching that shit.
You know.
Yeah.
I love watching that shit. I went back a long time ago and watched one of those legendary Japanese death matches between Cactus Jack and Terry Funk. Oh my God.
Not to toot any horn here, but one of those people that you mentioned is my uncle, and he invented hardcore wrestling.
That would be Terry Funk.
That would be.
Ooh,
that would be Terry motherfucking Funk.
That
he is awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
All
right.
I've actually got to see him. I think I got to. Didn't he go to WCW for a while?
Yeah.
That's where I actually got to see him live at one of the house shows or one of the pay-per-views I got to go to.
Yeah, I don't think they took as much precaution though as Slim does with his stuff. They try.
Oh, not in Japan.
I don't think Slim's trying to
no.
kill anybody up there.
Yeah.
Just
okay, so we'll do three things. Do you want to hear how I thought at one point in time that I was possessed by an alien?
Yes.
Or that I was an alien trapped in a human, or when I was called a fallen angel, or how I did not achieve it. I still achieved the world record on the mechanical bull, but how I didn't make my goal and ended up puking on the stage.
Alien. I'm going
okay.
Alien.
Yeah.
Sweet. And that's this is the beginning of like the weirdness that began happening in my life.
Side chat. From those ones, pick the next one. We need people typing in the side chat. So.
Yes, we do. So the next thing that we could talk about is let me bring in the Vila. Hey Vila.
Hi Vila.
The next one would be fallen angel. Being told I was a fallen angel, and then the next one is mechanical bull. And then we still have like a couple of other things for sure. Like when I got in a fight with in middle school, and Jesus came out of the church while we were fighting. Anyways,
at what age did you start taking acid?
14, 12. I don't know. No,
they
I think
say
it was
if
14.
you drop acid more than twice, you're legally insane.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Yeah, you can be like you're legally insane. I work with a lady that. Yeah.
Okay, let's. Sure, that's the next one. Or LSD stories. I have gazillions of those as well.
I'd love to hear some acid stories.
Okay, let's maybe do that next, unless there's anybody in the side chat who wants to. Vila, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Well, hello, stranger.
Hey, sweetie. Been ages. How are you?
I'm fine. I want to apologize publicly to Vila and Brainless because I know I've been having to stream later because I've switched jobs and I'm still working overnights. It's just now my days off are set for a while, so I do apologize.
Listen, do you not? Streaming comes before jobs. I don't know what you're thinking.
Can you imagine work? Can you imagine work?
What is this work that you?
How dare you not break the time space continuum?
Well,
so you can stream to everyone.
Look, the only way
universally.
The only way that I know that the space-time continuum can be broken is if one Chuck Norris roundhouse kick meets another Chuck Norris roundhouse kick.
Ooh, yeah.
If they meet in the exact same space simultaneously, that will rip open the space-time continuum.
That is how the universe ends.
Of it, except it's not where they meet at their highest point going out. It's when they return inward. And it's when that, like doing that, Chuck Norris splits his balls, and that creates the Big Bang.
Well, I mean, you do know that they say that Chuck Norris, there's no chin under his beard. There's only another fist.
Who has their Discord open?
Not me.
Cheese and rice, Brainless.
Well, it is open, but I'm not looking at it like I haven't minimized.
I keep hearing.
Where's an echo?
Does anybody else hear that, or is it just me?
Just
I don't hear an echo.
It must be your Discord then.
Okay, well then let me go in here and turn off that because it's like it's clicking. It's clicking. Okay, there we go. It was clicking like a mug, which never happens like that. So I was kind of.
Slim, you've got to learn to close things down, man.
Yeah.
I've got nothing on my speakers, so.
Okay, it was me. I saw it. So Six Drops asks, did I explain how a glass eater poops after their glass meal? And I will talk about that in a second. So let's get to
question.
Yes, this is the first memory that I have, or where I thought that my existence began. So I must have been 3 or 4 years old because we moved to California when I was 5. But it is really weird and hard. So I woke up looking at our fireplace in Estes Park, Colorado at 3 or 4. And for some reason, I felt like I blanked into existence. So I don't know what age it exactly was, but I do believe it was when I was young, although it may have been when I was a teenager. But I, for some reason, thought that I was an alien soul that had taken over a human body.
Well, have you been proven wrong yet?
No, but
I'm just saying.
Yeah. And I believe that for I don't even know how long until I said
that thought would make sense if that's your memory. You don't have no one remembers being a baby or shit, right? But if you just have this memory of one day, like your consciousness clicking in, like boom, going from 0 to self-aware, that's got to be a very visceral memory. And compare that in with like the mental health things you've got, it would make sense why you would wonder, well, what happened?
Yeah, right. So after doing some mind searching and actually pondering over it when I was in my later teen years, I have come to the conclusion that I was running around the living room and I ran into the chimney and I knocked myself out.
Ah.
And
you really
when
do that?
I don't know,
oh.
but I don't feel, I honestly can't believe that I am an alien in a human body. Like, that sounds fun. And I wish, that would be fucking awesome.
Slim just wants tentacles. That's what it is.
Yeah, there we go.
Until you're proven wrong.
I know,
it's
but
a possibility.
Yes. Okay. But that's why I
was like, if like for a guy, if you'd had tentacles, realize how many chicks you could get.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, Brainless, we know what you would do with tentacles.
Yes.
We're just curious to know what Slim would do with his. I mean, it's
probably
obvious.
the same. Probably the same.
They would be inside of all of you right now.
Oh, gee.
Anyways.
Look, not without consent, motherfucker.
Obviously,
or at least you buy me a goddamn drink first.
As mentioned on the TMI show earlier,
I'd buy you dinner.
I would swallow.
You better buy me a fucking steak, bitch.
What Brainless?
As mentioned on the TMI show earlier, I would swallow. Oh, what?
Nice. So then the next point in time where for a while I was convinced that I was another being inside of a human shell. Son of a bitch. Oh, God. When I was going to Christian high school, because I had been kicked out of the San Diego school district for having 11 hits of LSD on me. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
We are so lucky Scientology didn't find you at that point.
Yeah.
Seems like too many. I'm just saying. That seems like a lot. Like,
yeah. Well, I was selling it. So I had.
Yeah, I didn't want to be like, yeah.
Wait, at what age were you selling it?
Yeah,
16, 15. I was 15 at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I began. So, anyways, I had to go to this Christian school, right? A week before this incident I'm going to speak about, I went to my parents and I said, I'm literally going to get kicked out of the school. Like, I can't take I can't take them pounding this crap in my head. In math class, they're like, Joseph has 5 loaves of bread. And, you're like, do we really have to bring the Bible into this bullshit? What the fuck, dude? Why are we making the Bible in every fucking thing?
Jesus only has 3 loaves of bread and 4 fish. How many people can he feed?
Yeah. It's like
unlimited.
I get what you're saying. I never would send my kids to like Christian school, and I told them don't go to a Christian college. I went to a Christian college, but I went because they had night classes, not because what. But that's too much. Like it's what I mean, and
so
it turns people the opposite direction.
Well, that's why we have a whole generation of people right now that are not religious, or they're not going towards organized religion, and that's why they're so scared.
You'd be like, get me the hell out of here, because me being a Christian, I'd be like, I don't want to go back there because
it's
too much.
I went to Christian school as well. I went to Catholic boarding schools for a lot of my childhood, even though we're not Catholic.
Yeah.
And this is the crazy story. Two of the schools that stick out. One was run by nuns, right? Yeah. Most of them were. It was also part of an old folks' home for nuns. It was a retirement place after they were done, and so lots of lovely old nun women that we would go and we would talk to and things. And there were some normal teachers there, and a lot of them were like nuns and stuff. Now, I also went to another school that was just
like my childhood
random religious. It was just a normal Catholic boarding school, right? No nuns.
Mm-hmm.
Which one do you think was worse?
Oh, I can understand that.
The no nuns.
Yeah.
No nuns. The nuns taught me God made us flawed for a reason. He made us flawed to show that we are capable of doing and being better.
Yeah.
He loves us even with our flaws and blah, 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 and all this lovely stuff. And I was like, cool, I can get by with that. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the other one.
Oh no.
God hates you. You have to prove you're worthy of his love. He fucking hates you. And it's like, that was the day religion died for me. Like, because I'm like, how can two schools that are meant to be the same religion, the same everything,
use different
come
doctrine
up with such different things? And like,
Yeah.
this is how weird it is in America to England as well, because like, even at the convent school, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
Hi, Duncan.
Okay. Hi, baby.
Hey, Queen.
Hello.
I watched her stream the other night. I wasn't chatting because my lupus is weird, but so I didn't type too good. But I watched it and it was really good.
Oh, it was so much fun.
Yeah, it's great. Like, I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot of new stuff too. I always learn.
We've got a lot of things to be delving over in the near future as well. We're building a lot of
all into it. I'm like writing down stuff that I have to Google later.
yeah, there you go. So anyways, Queen, as soon as you're there, say hi to us. But so I was going to Christian school. I was 16 at the time. I was in 10th grade, but I had a girlfriend at the time, and we were in chapel. I think I don't remember if it was once a day or every Thursday, but there was a lot of chapel. Like I think it was once a day. You had to go in and have like an hour of chapel or whatever. And I think it was right after lunch, I think is
when
what
I
it was.
in Catholic school, we had to go to church every single morning before any classes started.
We only went on a Friday, but once every morning. No, it was just on a Friday.
We would have to go every single morning, and the only day we would have off from church would be Saturday, because if we weren't at Sunday service, the next week we would get extra homework than what the other kids did.
Yeah.
That's so weird with the difference in America and England as well. Like,
yeah. So we had just gotten back from lunch.
I'll be right back, guys.
We went into chapel, and my girlfriend at the time, I didn't know exactly. So I would poke her and she would like giggle really weirdly. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I didn't like really know. And so I just kept playing with different parts of her. Well, the girl sitting behind us wanted to date me, but I was dating her. And so she was jealous. And I don't even remember if I actually did this, but she reported that I was finger banging her in chapel.
Well, I mean,
which I think maybe I was, but I don't recall very much. That was a long time ago, and I think I was like poking her. I think I was poking her. Yeah, I think I was just poking the insides of her like thighs or something, and I don't think I was actually doing anything. So they brought us into the principal's office, and they had the freaking head priest or whatever, and they're like, we know that you did this, and you can't get out of it, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, cool, yep, I finger banged her in chapel, sure. And then as they were talking to me, they're like, oh, you must be a fallen angel sent here to destroy the youth. So you tell a 16-year-old that who's been doing a bunch of drugs, and you kick him out. So for 6 months, 8 months or something, I was like, I wonder if I am, because I've had that feeling before, right? That I was a non-human inside of a human shell. So I was like, maybe I'm a fallen angel and I'm not an alien. Then doing some pondering, some soul searching, I was like, then I would be immortal, right? I don't know. To me, I was trying to figure out a way to figure out if I was or not, because I wasn't just going to run around thinking that I am some supreme being. So I took a needle and I poked it in my arm, and I hurt like a motherfucker, and I was bleeding, and I went, I guess I'm not. Like, no. I guess I'm just human. I don't. So
You're like, well, there's that. So that's
yeah. I'm like, I'm not invincible. I have asthma and scoliosis and all these other things, and I'm like, I guess that doesn't prove an eternal being. But I mean, again.
We don't know that much about them either. They could, you know, like
I was going to say, exactly. The correlation to that is weird to me because it's like you're saying, okay, I'm going to see if I'm immortal.
So I'm going to stab myself in the heart.
And then, but then you do something that only caused you pain and bleeding, but that doesn't mean you're not immortal.
I know.
Scoliosis.
Listen, he was all on LSD at the time, okay?
I'm really not trying to feed into this delusion or anything, though. But okay, scoliosis, that's where the big soul of the fallen angel got squished into an itty-bitty human body, and it couldn't fit your spine.
There you go.
And the asthma is because your lungs aren't used to the air of the human world. It's used to like the really harsh air of hell,
and the earth is flat.
Well, see, the thing is I really want to believe that like I am somehow a different being, and that's why we turned myself into a cyborg. And did you see how I said we? Because I do that too inside my head. I say we all the time to myself because I think of myself as two different beings. But I figured it was way better for my psyche to not think that I was one of those things. You know what I'm saying? That I was not just I was unhuman or whatever, even though I still feel very unhuman. And that's why I think I'm a cyborg, is that I'm half man, half machine, because I don't get you humans because I don't have that part of empathy or, you know.
I think you have empathy.
Yeah.
But I think you just don't have like the bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, like some people are just bullshit, right? They can talk like car salesmen. Not anything against if you're a car salesman, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, totally.
Where they can just kind of schmooze anybody and blah, blah. I think that, you know what I mean? Like there's
Well, and I used to be like a compulsive liar where I would just make up crazy stories just to tell so that I was the cool kid. And then I actually did delve into doing crazy stuff and having crazy experiences. And now it's just, they're only memories that I have. And so they may be not exactly that way, but I did go through the things that I talk about. I mean, like the first time we did LSD, me and my friends, we went walking around at night down the block, and me and one of my friends were kind of like hanging back while everybody else is in front of us. There's like 6 of us, and they all are walking in front, and they turn a corner, and all of a sudden I hear them scream, and they fucking run around the corner and come running past us. And as they're running past, they're like, baby Tyrannosaurus Rex. They're like baby Rex. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Imagine being on drugs and being the only people to like find a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex for the first time.
I mean, I saw a meme on Facebook one time, and there was a picture of a cat, and his eyes were really wide, and it said, "No, I haven't seen your LSD, but did you see that fucking dragon in the kitchen?"
Right, yeah, see that exactly. One too. Yeah, right. Like, I mean, and you're thinking, why can't anybody else see what I can? Like, this is so weird, right? And then everybody else is standing around like their faces are melting off, and they don't know what's happening. Yeah.
It's like that last scene in Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. Excuse me.
I have had a handful of. I've had a lot of shared hallucinations with people, where we all are seeing the same fucking thing, but.
That's weird. That's weird.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, it probably was because somebody started the illusion. Somebody said this looks like something
out loud,
and then all of a sudden everybody was going to see it, or we all noticed it. Like we weren't looking there first, and then all of a sudden. So, anyways, I come to the conclusion, even though I'm fucked up, that there's no way in hell we have come across a baby Tyrannosaurus Rex on LSD. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. If we were sober and you all saw it, I would have been like, okay, probably. So
this might be the drugs, you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So everybody is like standing behind me, and they're like, "Go Slim," because I was the guy who I wasn't really scared of a lot of crap when we were doing drugs. People would be like, oh, this thing's happening. And I just like go walk up to it, or I'd go talk to the people and be like, no, nobody's trying to fight you, dummies. But anyways, I go walking around the corner. As soon as I get around the corner, there's a fucking baby Tyrannosaurus Rex going, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I run around the corner and I'm like sitting there. I'm like, there's no way. And we could hear the, and I was like, what the fuck? So I go around the corner and I'm just like,
chupacabra.
There you go. And I go around the corner and I'm like, screw it. There's no way. And it wasn't moving, right? It was still staying there, but
you
it
were
was
in
like
Houston, Texas. It could be one of their sewer rats.
Exactly. So anyways, I walk up to it and I grab it. It's a freaking bush.
It's a bush. Well, listen, okay. Sometimes they cut those bushes in the shapes of things. So listen.
See, I think it was in the shape of something that wasn't supposed to look exactly like that, but the wind was rustling it and the wind was moving.
And so it looked like it moved it, and then
so it was like, I don't know where we were hearing the noise.
Bushes can be deceiving.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so shaved them off.
Listen, there could have been a homeless person or some crackhead in there making noises to scare the acid kids, right?
Yeah, sure, totally. Yeah. There could have been a handful of reasons why that happened.
I'm saying it. Yeah, I like to fuck with people when they're way stoned.
So I'm going to grab a beer right quick, and it's going to take me like 20 seconds, and then I'll come back and an Avalanche and Amber beer. As soon as I get back, I will tell you the story about the two times that we thought we found an alien when we were on acid.
Awesome. I have a cousin who thinks he was abducted by a UFO and he's never taken LSD. But he also barks at parked cars.
I'm still waiting to take my first acid trip.
The hardest thing I've ever done is the devil's lettuce. Okay, I'm a Girl Scout up here, so
I'm an Eagle Scout and I've smoked DMT.
No, I didn't do anything because I saw all my friends do it, and like they're all dead, or roaming around our little town talking to stop signs. So,
holy shit.
That's what happens when you dip your cigarettes in formaldehyde from the biology lab and then you smoke them.
Fucking.
We were up at town because we go up to town to smoke our lunch instead of eating, and I was like, why does it smell like those damn dead frogs we had to cut open? And they're like, oh, that's our cigarettes. It's like, I don't think cigarettes should smell like the biology lab. They snuck in there and stuck their cigarettes in formaldehyde. Okay.
Yeah, that's what PCP is, or that's a way to get wet.
And let me tell you, 4 out of the 5 were dead before our 40s, and the other one roams around town and talks to stop signs.
Of course,
don't do that. Listen, do anything else. I don't care if you do bathtub crank. Don't put.
Sorry about that. I'm back, my loves.
Don't do formaldehyde.
Yeah. It's so hard. Like nowadays, there's so much like fentanyl and other things in things. It's really hard to say how to like.
Definitely don't do bath salts.
No. Yeah.
Oh, or flocka. Don't do flocka. Have you seen the people that headbutt?
Yeah,
Greyhound buses.
Don't do anything that's a powder at all.
Don't do anything that wasn't already put on the earth for you. The devil's lettuce, do all of it. It was here first.
This is very controversial, but do not take legal highs. There is more research done into taking all the illegal drugs. We know what it will do to your body.
That is true.
Than what we know legal drugs. True. It is technically safer to do the illegal drugs than it is the legal ones. Because the way they get around it is they slightly change the chemical composition of it. They change like the structure of the atoms or something. And
they just did a study. They just did a study. Yeah, they just did a study where they say that doing meth is exactly like doing Adderall. They're exactly as bad for you, either one. So just go buy it from the dude on the street.
Adderall is just the legal form, the prescription form.
I mean legal. I don't mean like prescriptions. I mean the legal highs you get in shops. Like
that bullshit.
Or
don't take the legal
do
ecstasy. Don't take the legal this, because do you know
or
what?
synthetic marijuana. That's synthetic marijuana.
They don't know what's in it.
Yeah, the K2.
There's no testing on it. It could do anything to you.
I went to school with the guy who got hooked on that synthetic marijuana, which I don't know why. It's not like, I mean, just do the regular stuff, but it would make him like goofy. I'm not talking high.
In all
I'm talking
actuality,
like out of his
synthetic marijuana, it says right on it, not for human consumption because it's incense.
Right. Yeah.
It is safer to do the illegal
You take your chance with fentanyl, but you're not gonna try to run your head into a bus.
We know more about the effects on the body with the illegal ones. There have been more testing.
Do more illegal drugs, people.
I mean, if it's a choice between the two, technically taking the ones that we know the effects are safer than taking something that could be anything. And it's not like, it's the equivalent of when you're wondering what it's been cut with, right? But it's all the cutting agent and you don't know, as opposed to, well, you know, it's got a little bit of A and it might be cut with anything.
Right.
It's A, you don't know A or what it's cut with either.
Yeah.
Well, and they do have test kits out there that you can test, you know, if you are going to do cocaine or
see if it's
Molly
got
or
something
whatever,
else
you
in
can
it.
test to make sure there's no type of fentanyl in it.
Listen, I'm going to say this, and this is going to sound controversial. If they would just legalize some of this shit, then they could control what's in it, and then they could tax the living shit out of it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
And they could make it to where people are not dying on street corners
They have
from
had great improvements in places that have decriminalized drugs.
Right.
They're not. I don't understand the.
We could have a whole
between
panel about
decriminalized and legalized,
that.
but they've made it so it's not illegal to have the drugs. And there was a big spike for the first little bit in people trying shit, and then rates dropped dramatically.
Well, that's why they don't want to legalize pot everywhere, because if people are on pot, they start getting off what they do want us hooked on, which is prescription medications, and that's a whole other thing. But
also, all the time my people in prison for weed, they've got more slave labor, and America hasn't ever really made slavery illegal. They just changed the name of it. That's why private prisons became a thing after slavery was abolished, within a few years, actually.
Yes. Okay,
right.
so real
and
quick.
My favorite saying to the people that are like major Bible thumpers and say it's the devil's lettuce and everything like that.
Oh, sorry.
Is weed is a seed that grows in the ground. If God didn't like it, it wouldn't be around.
That is peyote. I'm a Cherokee, so I say if you are with natives, enjoy the peyote, but only do it with natives because they'll keep you from dying. So
Okay, so anyways. When I was a teenager, me and my friends, we would go down into the canyons of San Diego, and that's where we would do our acid. So we'd take it and we would go into the canyons and we'd go walk around, and we had certain trails that would take us until sundown to get to.
I bet that was a trip. Like, walking off when you're that stoned. Seriously.
So, we were in one of the clearings that we would normally go to, and what we did is we would bring an ounce of shake, and we had the joint roller, the machine. And so once we got down there, we would like start just making joints, and then just start smoking them as soon as we had some. So we're all sitting there, we're smoking, we're making joints, and all of a sudden, I think it was Jason, and he's behind us in the bushes, and all of a sudden he goes, "Dude, there's a fucking alien in this bush." And we're like, "Shut the fuck up." So we go and we'll walk over there, and in this bush there's this tiny little itty bitty thing, and there's a little pink thing inside, and it's going and we're like, "What the fuck is this?" And it looks like an alien, like a baby little tiny little thing inside of like a kind of nest kind of thing. So we're sitting there looking at it like really close, and all of a sudden we hear zoo, 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 freaking hummingbird nest. God damn it.
Shit. You and bushes and drugs are not like a good combo.
Yeah.
Well, see, then the next thing, it was not the same time, but it happened a little while later. Same thing. I think it was Jason that yelled out, "There's an alien in the tree." And we're like, God damn it. So we go walk over there and we look, and there's like a hole in the tree, and there's this pink thing, and it's breathing. It looks like it has gills, and it's like moving in and out, and we're just like, what the fuck? So everybody got kind of bored with that, and they were all doing different things. And so I took a stick and I started poking it.
You poked it, didn't you?
Yeah, I had to, because I was like, it's not a fucking alien. There's no, it's a fucking alien.
Slim seems like the guy that pokes the stuff, right? Like, he's like, what is that?
Yeah, no, I will walk up to the danger and be like, what is that?
Poke it with a stick. Hey, what's going
Damn it,
on?
Carmen, how many times have we told you not to poke stuff with sticks?
Exactly.
Right,
So
we're like, either that or we send him to do it. We're like, that's weird. Go see what it is.
Yeah.
And we are all hiding behind the building.
So I was trying to pry it out, I guess. All of a sudden, like, I fling it towards me, and it fucking hits my chest, and it's a fucking pair of hot pink grandma panties.
Ew! Was that for real, or was that the hallucination?
No,
they were really granny panties.
Yeah,
somebody's grandma is missing her panties, and they're stuck in a tree.
Yeah, it was so fucking.
I think grandma wanted them there in the first place.
Homeless sex. There's probably 2 homeless people down there. They were fucking.
Oh, baby, poor thing.
They were marking their. Listen. Those panties were to mark their spot so that no other horny homeless people would take it.
Exactly.
How
all right, does anybody have any questions?
What did you do with the panties? Did you keep them?
Oh, we ran. No, as soon as it fell and hit the ground, we just fucking ran.
I was waiting for him to go, and I still have them and hold them
they're right there.
That would
have been great.
Yes.
That's so weird. I'm sorry, but the alien of that is the least of the coolest things in the story. The grandma panties, it would be the.
Yeah, well, that's what made the story is.
It wouldn't have been woman's underwear, you know.
Yeah, the alien would not have been as cool as what actually happened.
Yeah, totally. That's what I would
You'd be like,
say.
oh great, you found an alien. We found grandma's panties. Okay, in a tree.
Yeah.
So,
in a tree.
Like, Jason, your grandma's out here getting railed, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Skits.
Someone come get your grandma. She's being a hoe again.
Exactly.
Grandma out
here
hoeing.
Get your grandma.
Somebody come get her.
She's acting like a stripper.
Nice. All right.
Your grandma out here hoeing, man.
So, okay, when was the last time you did LSD?
Oh, I don't remember that, but I'll tell you the last time I did mushrooms.
Okay, yeah.
So it was 5 years ago, probably. It was 420, and I used to hang out at a Chiba Hut in Fort Collins. And
what?
It's called Chiba Hut. Their toasted subs are all named after weed products.
Oh, genius!
And 420
Stoners
during 420
are geniuses.
Yeah,
just saying.
yeah. And during 420. They would usually close down the street and do like a ranch chugging contest or something like that.
Oh, ew.
Yeah.
Why does it have to be ranch? Ugh.
Because it's so gross.
I mean, I like ranch, but I mean, why drink it? Ugh.
Dude, it was horrible watching it.
Never had ranch.
Would kill that challenge.
I know.
Kill it.
No, Shani would kill it.
Oh, God damn it.
No, that would have to be the Duke's mayonnaise for Shani.
No,
I don't know. I think Jeffree Star might be good at chugging ranch for multiple reasons.
Probably. So, anyways, I sat down at the bar. I took a bunch of mushrooms. I sat down at the bar. I was planning on walking around and doing things. I ended up holding the bar for like 3 hours. I mean, I was drinking and stuff, but I was literally like holding the bar. And then at one point in time, I went to the bartender. I was like, "Come here." I'm like, "Can I pay you so I can go?" And he's like, "You paid me an hour and a half ago."
We've been. What the fuck am I still doing here?
Yeah, what are you still doing
at
here,
least
dude?
he was honest. He could have got you to pay twice.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
but it was a homie. That's why I did it there. Is because I knew everybody
right?
would.
Yeah. If you're gonna get that high, make sure you're around people who like your ass.
Yeah,
Because
I did.
you could
These
be
were some dank mushrooms. I barely took any, and I was fucking gone. But anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm holding the bar, and I'm about ready to try to get myself to leave. Hey, Skits, how are you doing?
Hi, Skids.
Hey,
So,
good boy.
I am.
Wait, is it his birthday? What?
No, Skits and I have the same birthday.
Oh, okay. I thought Brainer said the birthday boy. I was like, wait, what?
No, Skitsy boy.
Skitsy boy.
So after I ask that, I'm trying to get myself to get up. I'm still fucking gone as fuck. So I'm trying to like get up, and right before, as I'm trying to do this, I notice there's a couple sitting across the bar from me, and they're like, and I'm like, that is fucking weird. So I'm trying to get up, and the dude fucking, I didn't notice him doing this because I'm trying to get out of there. All of a sudden, homie got his back up against my back, his stomach up against my back, and he's pushing on me. And he's like, "Hey, did you go to prison with my cousin?" He's like, "Were you in prison with my cousin?" And I was like,
that's a familiar ass, I feel.
yeah, exactly. And I've never been to the pen. I've been to GP. I've been to jail. I never been to the pen, though. You know, there is a big difference.
Yeah.
So I just look at him and I'm like, brah, like he said like a serial number. He said like certain words that if you had been in that you would know, like that area code, or I don't know. Again, I was shrooming my arse off. So he said a bunch of things that I know is like prison slang, you know, or a way to tell like if somebody's been here or there, or, you know, like gang code. And I was like, bro, I've never been to the pen. I don't know who your cousin is. I mean, I've been to jail, but never been to the pen. And he goes, oh, fuck. And then he looks at his wife and he's like, and she's on the phone and she's like, no, call off the hit. Call it off.
Undo.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, what the fuck? And then they just run out of the bar. They didn't even pay. They just ran out of the bar.
Incoming nuclear explosion.
So I'm holding the bar still, fucked up, and I look around at everybody and I went, did that just happen? And everybody went, yep. I was like, fuck, I almost got killed right now. Like literally, like I think that he was trying to call a hit, or he was like calling people to come and meet us. Let's put it that way.
Oh,
is what I think was happening.
A snitch or something.
Yeah, or he's like, oh, you fucked over my homie or my cuz, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. Because he must have heard him talk about some white boy with a tattooed face or something, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because there's only one.
Well, you all look alike.
Yeah, exactly. Goddamn white people. So anyways, I somehow drove myself back home and I cried on the floor for about 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I just kept thinking like, if I didn't notice, if I didn't figure out exactly what was going on fast enough, I probably might not be here anymore. Like, I mean, it was kind of like the time. Well, that's a little bit different, but we were downtown for Zombie Crawl, and I was with my girlfriend, her father, and a couple friends at the time, and we went into a bar, and somehow I ended up taking 12 shots.
Oh God. Of what?
Yeah, fair amount.
I don't know. I have no idea what was. I barely even understood that we were like leaving the bar. But I had my zombie mask on and stuff, and I was like pretending to be a zombie, and I was like, and it was in 16th Street Mall, which is an outdoor mall in Denver. And I like kind of walked past these dudes, and I was like, and they're like, "Fuck you, motherfucker!" And I went and I took off my helmet and was like, "What, bitch? You're gonna talk shit to me, fucking?" And there's a zombie, like screw you, you little punk. So then all of a sudden there was 2 guys, and all of a sudden there was 6 guys, and they all surrounded me, and homie just cold cocked me in the head. That's why I have this scar, because he cold cocked me while he had a ring on. I fell over, and his friend starts kicking my chest in, 6 of them. And luckily for me, he bent over to start hitting me in the face. And when he did, I grabbed his shirt and he pulled me back up. When he like stood up, he pulled me back up. And then I just held onto his collar and I just kept punching him in the face. And I wasn't letting go of his collar while I was getting pummeled by 6 other dudes. Like I still was getting my ass kicked by 6 dudes, but I was like, this dude is gonna get done. I'm gonna make sure he does not walk away from this shit.
See, that's the bitch shit that I've always hated. Why can't you fight one-on-one? Why do you guys get all your little fucking
Well, that's why he was so hard, just because he had his fucking homies with him and I didn't notice it, but whatever. So luckily for me, while I'm punching this dude in the face, all of a sudden I see the looks on these kids' faces and they look scared as fuck. And then all of a sudden they're gone. And I look behind me and 2 of my friends who were 6'7", like 300-pound dudes, just come running up and just that kid was in my arms. I had him by the collar, and then all of a sudden he was gone. My homie ran up and just punched him so hard he disappeared out of my sight.
Orbit.
So
look how quick those fucking bitches ran. When the numbers changed, and the numbers were still with them. They had 6, you only had 3. And yet they're like, oh, fuck, we're not just like wailing on one drunk guy.
Yeah, no, his friends are huge, and that was what's even funnier. It's like, yeah, bro, you don't fucking know who my homies are. You're a dumbass for trying to start shit. Whatever. So I have a scar on my lip. I think it's over here from him punching me in the face, and then I have the scar down my forehead from him. I could barely breathe at the time, and after they had left, I was stumbling around trying to find my mask that was custom made from this guy who works in the films. He did the special effects for the last Exorcist movie, I think is who it was that made me this mask that was one of a kind. He made it. He gave it to me, and then he never made that again. Which I know because I asked him for after I didn't find it again. Somebody stole it that night. Yeah. Or something happened to it. I couldn't find it because, and I asked him for it and he's like, nope, that was one of a kind. I can't make it again. I mean, I can try, but you're never going to get it to look like that. And as I'm looking around for my helmet with my girlfriend at the time, police show up.
Oh no.
And they grab me and they're like, we don't really want to do this, but there's cameras and you obviously were in an altercation, so we have to talk to you for a second. And I had just blood running down my face from both of those wounds. Every time my heart beat, the blood came out of my forehead. So the cops were talking to me and they said, you have to go to the hospital. And I was like, no, I can go home and I can suture this stuff up. I'm a sword swallower. I know what I'm doing. And they said, no, you have to talk to an EMT. So I went and I talked to the EMT and I said, I have this kind of suturing at home. And she goes, oh, cool. She's like, but I can't make that decision. A surgeon has to, or a doctor has to. So they called up a hospital and I convinced, again, I took 12 shots right before this happened. I got in a fight. I'm bleeding out everywhere, got my chest kicked in. And I convinced multiple police, EMTs, and a doctor that I was able to go home and fix myself up, and they just let me go. No charges, no nothing. I was able to like just talk my way through being like, yeah, these little punk kids fucking jumped me, like, I mean, I did talk shit a little bit, but I didn't expect to get jumped by fucking a bunch of, and they're like, yeah, it kind of happens around that area, obviously. And so they're just like, yeah. That was the one of the fights I got in. So the other one, let's talk about right quick. I was in middle school, and across the street from our school was a church school. And after school, I was supposed to fight this freaking dude. So we met over in the church parking lot. And let's see. He was pummeling me in the face for like a hot minute. But like, again, I've said earlier, I don't think I feel pain the same way that you humans do. So as soon as it was like 30 punch, I don't know, let's just say 10. let's just. He got tired because most people aren't used to like train So he got tired and he's like, so I went and I just hit him in the face right as hard as I could. Homie falls down, gets back up. I hit him in the face again. He falls down, and then as homie is getting back up. One of our fucking smart ass, wise ass fucking mouth friend yells, "It's Jesus himself." And we were like, what? And we turned around and the priest from the school came out of the church to see what was happening. So everybody scattered. We all ran.
Nice.
That shit was so funny though. It's like, Jesus is here? Oh, fuck, dude.
We're fucked.
Oh, yeah, it's just.
Well, that's one way to get everyone to look very quickly to run.
Yeah, exactly. Look, Jesus came again,
Giggity.
Exactly.
I love that you do the giggity. It's so wrong that it's funny.
Yes. Wait, what? I talked to a telephone bill for a couple hours. Crazy thing was, it was talking back to me. Okay. Interesting.
Probably not been
A
in
telephone
Irish too.
bill? Like bill collector, maybe?
No,
Okay.
probably
No,
a
an
bill.
actual
Speaking-
paper bill, I think he means.
Yeah.
Yes.
When he was
yes.
hallucinating.
So
Why
Right,
are
so-
you so high? Well, probably because you're high.
Why aren't you sharing?
Exactly.
Right.
So when I was putting on event nights at that gay club, it was called Club Static, the double wide trailer that was a venue. Like somehow they turned it into a nightclub. I was running the sound for the show, and our band Poo Poo Jenkins was supposed to play.
Love the name.
The story behind Poo Poo
The
Jenkins.
name of that band, I
love it. I
I
love
can't
it.
take it serious.
It's not.
Of course
it's not.
not.
It's not supposed.
It's
to
not
be.
meant to be serious.
Yeah.
That's the
So-
reason I love it.
Yeah. So, anyways, the history of Poo Poo Jenkins is there is. Oh, what is her name? There is a lady in Mexico who had a poop baby that she birthed into the sewer, and it grew into Poo Poo Jenkins.
Poop baby.
Right.
Yeah. Dude.
Okay, so Tijuana Poop Baby that turned into a musician. And
Okay.
that's what the name came from. And while I was on vacation in California, having dinner with my parents, I got a phone call. And it was my friends. And they're calling me and they're like, oh my God, we just made up this thing about like a band where like we all like were poop babies born in Mexico and we floated into the sewer and then we somehow made it to Colorado and we formed a band from being, it's like, oh my fucking God. I'm like literally at dinner with my family on vacation listening to this crazy story these people have just came up with for this weird project. So cool. Awesome. Sweet. Let me know when I get back. I'll let you know. And so I go back to Denver. I'm back to Colorado, Fort Collins. And they're like, okay, so what we are is like nobody is anybody. So we all wear masks. All the women wear suits and ties and all the men wear dresses. So we're like gender bending and nobody can tell who anybody was because we wanted it to be anonymous. We really did not want anyone in town to exactly know who we were. And we always wanted to change out band members to make it very, very anonymous so that it wasn't actual band members, but there were us, obviously. So we would cover Detachable Penis. I Touch Myself, Private Dancer.
Nice.
And a couple other like silly, weird sexual songs. I mean, if it was Pets from Porno for Pyros. So we had.
Did you cover Coin Operated Boy?
I don't think we actually did then, but that would have been something we definitely would have, and we used that in different projects. But yeah, we definitely would have because we did bring out a double-sided dildo at one point, and we did slap each other across the face with it.
Hot.
during a show. So, anyways, the show we're speaking about, I was running sound at Club Static. All the band members are coming in and they start setting up their instruments. And one of them walks over and says, "Stick out your hand." And I'm like, okay. They put a pile of mushrooms in my hand. And I'm like, I'm running sound. We're about ready to go do a show. We have actual songs that we do. And then we free flow and jam for the rest of it. Look down and go, fuck it. Throw the fucking mushrooms in my mouth. And I had to do sound for one band before that. And they were our headliner from another state, or maybe they were just Denver, but they were not local. And the reason I know that is because their bassist, watching Poo Poo Jenkins, actually quit the band right there and said, "If this is the kind of people we're going to be doing shows with, fuck you, I'm done." And a band member from another band actually quit seeing our fucking show.
Oh, shit.
Wow, that good, huh?
Yeah. So after I got done doing their sound and getting them done, we sound checked. As soon as we begin the show, all of us mushrooms are kicking in. I mean, like literally pretty much like when the stage lights changed, we all were just like, fuck. So I don't even think we actually did any real songs. At that point in time, Jen had pulled out the Holy Bible. I don't know how far into this it was. I really barely remember. The only thing I really remember is this part that I'm going to tell. Jen had pulled out a Holy Bible, and one of the parts that we did in the show is we read out of Revelations in the back during a certain part of the jam. So we kind of had like a certain filler that we did, and we would so we opened up the Bible, and she just starts reading random passages. She just opened it up, just starts reading, and then she closes it and looks at me and goes, "Fuck, I can't read this shit anymore." And she hands it to me, and I open it up, and all I see is just fucking words jumping down the page. That's all I can see. So I'm like, I can't fucking read this. What am I gonna do? So
you should have just wandered around the stage, just yelling Jesus into the microphone.
Sure, we could have done that. So what I began doing is I just started ripping the pages out of the Bible and started eating them.
That works too.
And then I hand it to her, and she opens it up. She's like, "Fuck this," and she starts eating the pages out of the Bible as well.
Start rolling blunts out of it.
And then we just jammed for like 2 hours or something. I mean, and the one of the things we did during the jam part is randomly we would just switch instruments. So somebody would just get a wild hair up their ass, and they would just like look around or hand, as soon as one person handed an instrument, then it's just like rotate, and then just whatever instrument you got, hope you can fucking play it, because you just got handed it, and now you were live in front of people, and you have to figure out how to fucking play it in the key that everybody else is playing it too. So that's the other thing is if you don't know which key,
I would have been at every single show. That just sounds fucking amazing.
Oh, it was so great.
You should look up the photos on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have, and I would love to have been and seen those shows. And I'm actually gonna Slim. I'm not gonna send you a shirt. I'm gonna send you a hoodie.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I could use a new hoodie for the wintertime.
Sweet. Yes.
So I have a one-of-a-kind Poo Poo Jenkins hoodie. Yeah.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Yeah.
Be jealous, bitches.
That was a lot of fun. It was crazy. Oh, Jen. So we did have masks on, but at one point in time and during one show, Jen did she had underwear on, and she put pink tape over her nipples, and she took off her dress, and she was able to clap her boobs together to the beat. So she be jumping up and down, and her big boobs would be clapping to the beat. Oh, it was so fun, man. We freaked out so many fucking normals. Like seriously, like so many people saw our show and were just like, "I can't do this anymore." What is reality?
Oh my god,
that was so fun. I used to wear a quinceanera dress. So there's the teal quinceanera dress. So that's what I used to wear on stage. And,
oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Facebook page, and it is something to behold.
Yeah. It looks like you guys had a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
my favorite song. So what we did is all of the songs that we played. All the songs we played were in punk style. So Detachable Penis was more like, you know, like a little harder. And then, of course, like I Touch Myself is, I touch myself, I want you to, you know, that kind of rhythm where we would make it punk. So it's like, I touch myself, I want you to touch me, you know, like, so it was like everything was just like harder and punkier. It was so funny to do all those songs, especially Private Dancer, because we would, there was a couple times we had a fake stripper pole that we would dance on that we would kind of erect, and then the other times we would just be like, I'm be your private dancer, I want you to, and we had this like whole like choreography kind of thing that we did, Jen and I. It was so funny. Oh, my cheese and rice. I miss those days. They were so much fun.
Yeah, I just gave the page a like on Facebook.
and then you find a song, fresh hot shit out of my ass.
Yeah, then we had that one as well. That was one of the original. I mean, we did have originals as well. After I moved to Denver, one of the bands, it was called Blue Jeans something. They made a song called We Don't Matter to Slim or something like that. And it was talking about how I moved away and like how I don't care about the small town people anymore. Like I'm a big shot being in the city. And it was so funny. Like it had like verses and chorus and like, oh dude, it was so funny. I wish I could remember a little bit of it. I haven't heard it in a million years, but the last time I was hanging out with some of those people, they were like, you remember that song we made about you? And I'm like, yeah. And then they just started singing it. Homie, like actually like, it's so fucking funny that there's a song about me becoming big time, moving to the city.
Be like that verse and the first verse in the Three Little Pigs song by Green Jelly.
Oh. Yeah.
It's talking about oh God, fuck. He spent most of his days just dreaming of the city.
Yeah.
And then one day he bought a guitar. He moved to Hollywood to become a star.
Okay, so let's see. After this, I will talk about different places that I used to put on raves and all the weird underground places and how I facilitated not getting arrested putting on underground events. But real quick, I want to talk about how I got a shot glass thrown in my face while I was performing live on stage.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, I've actually been threatened live on stage multiple times. I've never hit with anything. I was doing a show at a place called Three Kings. It's now called HQ Bar. So it's not the same venue as it was. And before my set, I was walking around the audience and I was handing people clothespins. And what I was going to ask people to do is if you have a clothespin and you feel comfortable enough after my set, I'm usually just in frilly panties or I'm pretty much naked. I was going to ask people, if you feel comfortable enough, come up on stage and clothespin me. I'm giving you an opportunity to like, you know, be involved in the show. I'm, you know, trying to make it feel more connection with the audience. So unbeknownst to me, I handed it to this young lady. Of course, she wasn't young, over 21, obviously, in the bar. But, you know, they were probably in their 20s. Well, the one that I handed it to. So I am doing my show, and I get done, and I'm like, okay, everybody, now is your opportunity to take those clothespins and we're going to make a line, and you're going to clothespin me. So as I'm like explaining that, all of a sudden, my fucking eye hurts. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I yeah. That's all I kind of went black for a millisecond. And then I just like felt my eye socket was fucking hurting. And I was like, what the fuck? And I looked down and a shot glass is bouncing off the stage.
God damn.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So I look up and there's a lady right in front of me. The line is over here. And there's this female that's right in front of me, and she's just like mad dogging me, and she's just like talking shit and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And as soon as I say, what the fuck is wrong with you? She fucking bolts out the fucking door. So I had dollar bills stapled to me. I had needles in me, and I had people clothespinning me. I went like this, and I grabbed needles and dollars and everything, and I went like this, and I just ripped them all out of my body. I took full needles that were like pierced in me this way, and I ripped them out of my fucking body, and I threw them on the ground, and I went running after her. And I go outside, and she stopped, and she's turned around, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You just ruined my fucking show. Like, why are you fucking throwing things at me? Her girlfriend gets in the middle of us and it's like, don't hurt her. I'm like, I'm not going to fucking hurt her. Although I should punch her in the fucking face, but no, I'm not obviously not going to do nothing, you know? So her friends cart her away and I'm just like bleeding all over the freaking down Broadway. And Broadway's a huge street. There's like 50 people walking down the street and past us that time. Everybody's smoking a cigarette out there. It's just crowded. I'm just bleeding everywhere. I go back inside. I go on stage and I'm just like, okay, everybody, good night, I guess. And then I go backstage. Everybody comes back. It's like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck just happened. Like, why did I just get assaulted? Somebody, one of my friends comes back and goes, oh, I was in the audience next to her. You gave the clothespin to Homegirl's girlfriend. And as you walked away, Homegirl said you looked hot in those frilly panties. And her girlfriend got jealous and for some reason thought it was a good idea to throw a shot glass in your fucking face. Because
somebody else thought you look hot.
It's my fucking fault for wearing, I shouldn't have been wearing the short skirt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that stupid rhetoric. You know, it's my fault because I was so sexy. God damn it. But no.
Well, you are good looking.
I know. Well, I mean, I if you say so.
And like, if anyways. I look at those pictures on the face of my book there.
The face of my book.
Yeah.
I hang out with Cookie too much.
So what happened? The owner actually talked to me right after that and said, "Do you want to press charges?" Dumbass was on camera using her credit card to pay for drinks.
Nice.
They knew exactly who she was. I said, I'm not really like, I really don't care. And actually they pressed charges against her and she actually got probation and some other things. And I didn't have to go through anything because she just admitted it. They just, the bar pressed charges. And then she said, yeah, I did assault that dude in your bar and got 2 years probation or something like that for, I don't know if it was assault, but it was something like that. But like, luckily, I didn't have to go through it.
With somebody that reacts to you like that, like
you need to get the fuck away from them. Just like why my ex is my ex because she was doing the same bullshit.
Yikes! Because domestic abuse rates between LGBT couples are scary high and scary.
I know.
Underreported. So run for the fucking hills.
Yes, please do. And do not get in abusive relationships. You can always find somebody else. And I know it's hard in between those times or whatever, but there's somebody out there for everybody who like actually wants to take care of you and is interested in all the weird shit you're interested in. There's at least.
Here's the thing. If anyone ever says or even makes you feel that you can't do better than them, I'm telling you, you fucking can do better than them.
Yeah.
Because if you couldn't do better than that, they wouldn't need to tell you that. You would feel it. Because you're like, this is the best person ever. You wouldn't want to get better than them anyway because you love them for who the fuck they are, flaws and all. But it's all
and they wouldn't tell you that because they wouldn't be so damn paranoid.
No. And also they wouldn't, if they just wouldn't say that to you. 9 times out of 10, they would think, no, you're too good for me.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So let's get into my history about how I accidentally fell into putting on underground events.
As one does.
I miss going to raves. I really do.
Yeah, I became a DJ in 1999 for hip hop and then house music and then like regular type of techno-y kind of stuff and then drum and bass and then jungle and then hardcore and then happy hardcore and whatever. I like I said, I began DJing in 1999 at house parties and shit like that. So I was already figuring that I wanted to get into like kind of being involved with events. Like I said earlier, I've been in front of the stage or on the stage since I was a little tunny. So I had already kind of pondered this, but I was at a rave one night in Pomona, California, and they had an airport hangar, and they had like 6 airport hangars on this huge location. And instead of them actually like renting it out to airplane people, they just fucking every weekend they fucking put on a huge rave there. They just rented it out to whoever would pay them the most money to put on whatever. So, I'm going to be so pissed if I can't remember. So Wake and Bake, there's a handful of events that became national events that some people, if they were ever in the rave scene and you went to like the large events that you would know about, there's the one that has all the theme park rides and crap. Of course, my brain isn't working right now. Anyways, I was at this location. I was partying. I was in one of the areas, and they had closed it down because what they used to do, and I was on too many drugs at the time. What they used to do is they would close down one area at a time, and then everybody would finally be congregated to the one that was closest to the front door, and they would shut that one down, and then they would just funnel everybody out. It was easier to stop the areas of sound furthest away from the front door, and then slowly, progressively shut down the last one. So you're funneling druggies, a certain way. It was easier for them to like kind of funnel us. So I was in one of the rooms that was kind of far away from the front, and then my dumbass, not thinking about it because I was high, I walked out one of the gate doors, one of the emergency gates. So I begin walking towards the car, and as I'm walking towards the car, I hear more music inside, and I realized, fuck, there's like an hour more of like the rave. They just closed that area sound, and I thought it was So I go to the front, and I don't have keys for the car. It was, we drove with a bunch of friends. So I'm just sitting at the front at the entrance or the main exit. And somebody that I know in the rave scene is like, hey, I'm putting on a rave for the first time. I need help flyering. Will you help me hand out flyers? And I went, fuck yeah, I don't have anything else to do, and I'm high as fuck, and it's easy to just fucking hand. So I'm standing there, and I'm handing some people flyers, and then eventually I realized behind me is a pile of flyers. Literally everybody who I hand a flyer to, as soon as they walk past me, which we all did this, would just drop it right behind me. So I'm like, motherfucker, what do I got to do to get these motherfuckers to at least get it in their pocket and walk away? Well, shit, tell them to put it in their fucking pocket. So I literally would just be like, because everybody's drugged out, I'd literally be like, here, put this in your pocket and read it tomorrow. And they go, huh, pocket? And they literally would put it in their pocket and then walk away with it. And I'm like, yes. How to get druggies to freaking take your fucking flyer and actually take it and not just hold it in their hand until they forget and drop it, because they're on drugs. So my homie who's watching me is like, damn, you're a fucking pimpin' ass promoter, motherfucker. Like, you're literally like, I can't get people to keep them in their hands. And I'm like, yeah, because he didn't hear what I was doing. He didn't know what I was doing because he was over there on the other side. So he's like, oh my God, everybody's fucking taking your flyers. And I was like, yeah, okay. And so he's like, hey, you want to fucking help me put on this event? And I was like, hell yeah. Originally, God, this is so weird. Originally, he had rented out farmland in the middle of nowhere, California. It was like an hour and a half away from San Diego. And this dude's family was so fucking rich. He took sod, rolls of sod, and he actually covered a whole hillside with fucking new grass.
Okay.
Yeah. It was going to be like a quarter mile or some weird like thing that he just like found a hill in the desert kind of, and he was just going to put grass down and we were going to party on the grass.
Fair.
Well, a week before the fucking event, after they had put it down, a fucking flood happened out there. It flooded the fucking area.
That
So
sucks.
all the grass fucking went away. Hey, Mark. And hey, Irish, and anybody else that we haven't said hello to, hi. I'm not trying to ignore the side chat. Just I'm trying to like get my brain to remember the thingies of the stuffs, so I could give you the most remembrance or the most content out of the insanity. So, anyways, he calls me up a week before and he goes, "We got flooded out, bro." He's like, "I don't know what we're gonna fucking do," but he's like, "I want to keep putting it on." I'm like, "Okay." And it was called like Sunshine Ranch or something like that. It was something weird like that. So the night before, he hits me up and he goes, I rented out a 3-story venue in downtown Denver. And it is a rundown hotel that a bunch of gangsters have made into a venue.
Nice.
So what they did is they took out like most of the rooms on the first and second floor. They cut a hole in the roof of the second floor. They put in a stage. They put in a sound system. They put a balcony, and then they put in lights and stuff. So you could either be on the floor or you could walk up to the second floor and you could be around the balcony and be looking down.
Oh, nice.
The third floor was turned. The hotel rooms were all were more connected together. So like 5 of them were connected together. So you had these you had a weird ass walkway and then just open doors that you could go in, and they had huge rooms. But we I guess they're called cuddle puddle rooms, I guess is the best way to put them. There was no lights on in any of these rooms. There was usually like a fog machine, and just
So
you walk in there. A bunch of high
drunk people are just going in there to screw.
Fuck. Yeah, or you just walk in there and start touching whatever, just ooh, boobies, penis, just like, and then it's anonymous, kind of like a glory hole. So it's like, I'm not doing anything gay. I don't know that's a penis in my mouth. I'm just kidding. I can't see it, so it ain't. No, just kidding. I was up there for a minute trying to like smoke some weed until I accidentally like started touching people and was like, "Yep, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm gonna walk out of here. I don't really need to be like, yeah." I've been experimental, but not that 100%. So I went back downstairs. Cheese and rice. Okay, so one of the things that used to happen at events, large events like that in the underground scene, there were different companies who put on events. And if you were putting on a big ass event and another company was putting on an event around the corner and they found out you were doing really well, they would call the cops on you and they would call the fire department on you, trying to get you shut down. They called, yeah, of course. This production company around the corner found out that we were doing really good. We had a 6,000 person capacity, and we had a line around 2 blocks. And we had to like not let people in until somebody would leave. We literally were like 1 in, 1 out. So the pigs show up, and the guy who was running it and some of the couple of investors, they're like, we gotta talk to the pigs. Watch the door. So I'm standing at the door, high as fuck, dude. And pigs running in and out. They're searching the whole fucking place for drugs because they heard that we were selling drugs out of the place. They're fucking looking in nooks and crannies everywhere. The room I was in, they were searching around there. They didn't find nothing. They left. They called the fire department on us. The fire department came in. They had to stop. We had to stop like everything almost, and they had to like tell people to stand still. And they were like literally counting people. 30 minutes later, they fucking leave. We're going again. They have somehow got undercover SWAT there. So gentlemen in full fucking riot gear with no name on the back. Like normally it says FBI or SWAT on the back, or they have patches that say shit. Nope. All black fucking helmet. They go fucking running in. I had all the drugs on me the whole fucking time. I had $2,000 worth of fucking drugs. I had like 1,000 pills. I had like an ounce of weed. I had like even nitrous fucking thingies on me. I'm just sitting here the whole time laughing as the cops are running in and out. No, they never even looked at me once. I'm just like, you don't even know that I'm the one that has all the fucking drugs we're selling, you dumbasses. Then I finally got let go from door. I go walking in and I'm wandering around, and I went into one of the other rooms upstairs that actually had lights on and stuff. Because I was trying to sell some drugs because I hadn't the whole night because I was standing here and there's pigs everywhere, and I didn't know what the undercover SWAT was doing, but I knew not to sell to them, obviously. So I'm standing there.
I'm sure a good portion of them would.
Yeah, well, I'm standing there and I notice what they're doing is they're walking up behind people and whispering in their ear, do they know where to get drugs? So you're not seeing who they are, right? Just all of a sudden there's somebody behind you and they're like, and I don't know what they said, but as soon as that person like shook their head or turned around, 5 fucking SWATs would just grab them and throw them on the ground and fucking hem them up. This one dude, he had a cast on and he had his hand in the cast. Yeah, he had his hand in his cast, and when they pulled him on the ground, a bag of pills came flying out and fucking broke on the ground, and there's just pills going everywhere. I look at my feet, and like 10 pills hit my fucking shoe and bounce off, and I'm just looking like, I want to grab them. I want to grab them. I want to grab them. It was like I want them so bad, but then I was like, nope,
tie my shoe.
Yeah. Then I was like, nope. And then all of a sudden, a fucking a circle of pigs just got us out of the room. They just went to that area and just made a thing, and they just pushed us out of the room so they could secure that area. So then I'm like, fuck, dude, I got so many drugs on me. Fuck, what do I do? Like, where am I gonna, so I'm sitting there like trying to figure out. In the room that I'm in, there's a door and it has a window into a kitchen. And all of a sudden they bring this dude in there handcuffed, and they're like yelling at him like, where's the more drugs, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, fuck, dude, like this is messing with my head right now. And all of a sudden, the dude fucking in handcuffs jumps over one of the tables and starts running towards the door that I'm looking in. And the fucking cops grab him and they fucking smash his face against the window.
God damn.
So I'm like, I'm high as crap. And so his face like literally like went and then smushed and then slid off. And it was just like, that is way too many trails for like, that's way too hardcore for me right now, bro. And I was like, fuck this, dude. And I had to like, I went outside. I had to like leave the thing and be outside for a while because, dude, that shit was fucking crazy. Yeah, I was like, dude, this is fucking crazy. I never heard of undercover SWAT before. I never heard of them doing that before. But then I saw it a couple other times. And
illegal. I thought they have to have it on their backs of what they're affiliated with, because otherwise
it's LA. It's LA. I don't know. Maybe it was illegal. Maybe it was an illegal thing they were doing, but I don't know.
Like,
but
if you shoot them, you have no idea they're actual police. They're just someone wearing riot gear.
Yeah, totally.
Anyone
I agree.
Could wear.
I agree. This was 19.
They could have been gangsters that are like, oh, you're selling drugs on our turf.
Yeah, so this was I know, but the reason I knew they were actual pigs is because I watched them fucking run in, and again, my homie came to me and was like, "They're fucking SWATs in here now," and I'm like, "God damn, okay." So there was that. That's how I began putting on underground events. And then a couple months later, I'm hanging out at a rave, and one of my homies come up to me. His name is Corn Dog. Okay, do you guys want to hear what my fucking rave name was?
Yes.
Was it worse than Corn Dog?
Well,
is it worse than Slim Fady?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, Jesus.
Was it Poo Poo Jenkins?
No, but all right. So
please say it was.
So I had already gotten the name Slim Fady from hanging out in the ghetto at the low-income housing that I was living in at the time. But going to raves and we were selling drugs, you don't want to use your real name. So I was like trying to come up with like a name to use at raves, and I was with one of my I'm gonna say this. I guess not. I guess I don't need to say it that way. I was there with one of my lesbian friends, and we were walking around an event, and I used to wear very, very colorful outfits and wear like necklaces and stuff with very, very bright colored beads and stuff because we were selling drugs. The brighter you are, the more people ask you where the drugs are.
In my pocket.
Yeah. So that was part of my like way to get people to just ask me, and I didn't have to ask you. You know, you look like the guy who's on drugs, or that you know where they are, and then they would ask. So I'm with my lesbian friend, and we're walking around, and this little 18-year-old girl runs up to me and grabs me and goes, "Oh my God, you look like a rainbow." And then she scuttles off, and my fucking homegirl, my homegirl fucking hits me in the shoulder and goes, "That's what we're gonna name your punk ass. You're fucking Rainbow Sprinkles."
What the fuck?
And I was like, "No, I do not want to be called Rainbow Sprinkles." So anytime anybody came close to us, she would grab them and go, "Hey, this is my friend Rainbow Sprinkles." She literally just walked around the whole event and just told everybody my name was Rainbow Sprinkles.
That's amazing.
So I ended up having to fucking take the name. Yeah. So I was called Rainbow Sprinkles, and I had my homie Corn Dog. So it's fucking Rainbow Sprinkles and Corn Dog.
Sounds like a Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, exactly. We would hang out together all the time. It was always Rainbow and Corn Dog. It was just like, God, this is so stupid. It's like a cartoon.
Rainbow Dog.
Yeah. And the reason why he was called Corn Dog is because his brother walked in on him fucking a girl with a corn dog. Yep. So he got that nickname that he didn't want either. Okay. Don't ask me how it works or if it even did, but that's what his brother swore, because his brother was there and I met his brother and he just said, "I swear that I saw him trying to do his girlfriend with a corn dog," and so that's why everybody knows it.
He wanted
I totally believe that it's possible.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway,
sounds like somebody speaking from experience.
We don't have corn dogs in England, so I'm safe from that accusation.
Yeah.
But I've heard of people being fucked with very weird things before. Weirdest was okay. So you know, rock candy. You guys have like the rock candy over there.
Yeah.
Over here, we don't have them in like the single sweets that you suck on. We have it on like one long stick.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's
my
what she said.
Ex fucked his ex with one of those, except like when you suck on it, it gets tapered to a point.
Yeah.
Oh my.
And she got sugar shard splinters in her cunt and a bit of a poke done. Yeah, internally.
Giggity.
And
I'm sure.
She's a complete and utter cunt anyway, so I absolutely love that happened to her.
That's shivery cunt.
Oh, that's mean.
So
no, she was mean. She's the reason that I nearly drank bleach.
God.
Oh God. No,
okay.
Yeah.
It should have gotten worse. Oh.
So I was at a rave one night. I was sitting there high as fuck because I had already been slanging stuff at that point. Oh, thank God. I thought fucking my phone was going to be like, what? Well, you want me to find drugs? But no, it wakes up at weird times and asks me, you know.
Hey Siri, find me drugs.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sitting at an underground rave and I have stuff I'm selling and I'm fucked up. I'm just like laying there and my homie Corn Dog comes up and he's like, "Hey, bro. Me and two other guys, we just fucking bought a venue in Tijuana, Mexico, and we're gonna make a rave club in Tijuana. You're a fucking pimp ass promoter. You've already helped like a handful of fucking events go off because you fucking promoted them, and we've seen that, and he's like, we walked around and asked people who the best promoter is, and everybody said fucking Rainbow. So they're like, he's like, come on, you're gonna be a part of this, and I went, dude, I'm on probation for selling LSD. I have been arrested twice for selling LSD. I got caught with 55 hits of LSD crossing a county borderline when I was 18. Yeah. I was supposed to spend 10 years in the pen, but when we went in front of the judge, I mean, I'm sure there was a handful of other things. We paid for a decent lawyer, not a shit ton, but we literally went in front of the judge and was like, dude, I'm an artist. I've been published in books, and we just said, you know what, I'm gonna rot in prison where I could be in public on probation and keep being a productive member of society. And I'm white, so of course, I mean, like, I'm not gonna pretend that there's probably people in the same boat as me that went to the court that same day and probably actually did 10 in the pen, where I understand privilege to some extent. And anyways, so he says, we're gonna run this crap. And I went, okay. We're paying the federales $500 a week to stay open. So the federal Mexican police are not going to touch us. They're going to turn a blind eye. We can literally have a sex club if we wanted, which I think a couple times there definitely were people who were fucking in the booths. But anyways, so because I was on probation, we had to bring our okay, I went to college for electronic music production, right? So I know sound and electrical and crap. So the first time we went down to the venue, it was upstairs. It was on the second story of this huge freaking thing. There was 5 nightclubs inside of this one city block of a venue. It was one big building, but there was next to us was a gay club, and then there was 2 other clubs around the corner's entrance. So we were on the backside of the town square. So we were like kind of hidden kind of in the alley a little bit. The first time I went in there was just like 12 live wires that were not covered in anything, that were strewn around the whole fucking venue. And like every 20 feet, there was a little fucking plastic thing that kept it away from the other ones. So there'd be a plastic clip here that the fucking wire was in, and then there's a plastic clip here where the wire was in. Oh, wow. And some of them were dipping, and they were like this close to touching. They were literally like this close to touching. So what I did is I went in there and I turned off all the fucking breakers except for the bar. The bar was the only one that had its breaker on. So that was a very small part of the, none of these were live wires anymore. Cause I'm like, somebody's going to fall into that shit and fucking die. I'm like, I'm not dealing with that. So we ran literally everything off of one breaker, the whole little bar that we had and its little lights. And then the sound system was running off that. And somehow we made it work. We brought it down like a kind of ghetto version of a sound system. I mean, the speakers were 3 feet tall probably. And then we just brought like the basic, like turntable setup with a very, very small mixer and an amp that was pushing very, very little electricity, like one of the lowest we could find, because this was a very, very small club. And then the club was called the Pink Pussycat before we took it over, and inside was all hot pink, and there was a stage with a hot pink stripper pole.
My God.
And we didn't change anything. So
perfect.
Yeah. So every night at midnight, I would go and promote at the border for a couple hours, and then I would come in and I would have a drink and smoke a joint and take whatever. And then at midnight, every single night, I would get up in my 6-inch platforms, because I used to fucking wear 6-inch platforms every fucking night when I went out clubbing. Oh, jeez, I wish I still had those. Yeah, 6 inches. Yeah, that was it was insane. Yeah, no. Fucking,
okay.
Yeah. I would get up on my 6-inch platforms and I would spin one time around the pole, and then I would walk away. And every fucking time, every single person, mostly it was the women, but it was the men too. Everybody would get in a line, and then everybody would just start fucking swinging on the pole. So me and my friends would just sit back, and we're just like, free strip show. We're not paying anybody, and it's amateur as fuck. But I literally just got like 20 fucking hot chicks and a couple gay dudes, because the gay club was next door, and we usually would get them to come over to us first, because it was $7 to drink all night long for free. You literally paid $7, and you got a hand stamp, and you could drink all night long for free. The way that I could do that is every single bottle of hard alcohol that I bought from in Mexico was $1 American.
Shit, that's ridiculous.
So my back bar is $30. I get fucking 7 people in to pay $7. There you go.
You made your money back.
Yeah. And the only thing that I told people was, you have to tip the bartender every single time. You can't get a free drink and just walk away. If you have a peso, if you have anything, you have to drop something down to walk away. Drugs, whatever, just something. You can't just keep getting free drinks and keep walking away. Because I wasn't going to let my bartender do that, because that's fucked for them. I was paying my bartender $5 a week, $5 American dollars a week. Wow. So by doing that, he walked away with like $200 to $500 a night. So imagine your paycheck is $5 a week, and every night you're walking out with $200.
Sounds like the American South.
Yeah. So what we used to do is we lived in Chulawana. It's called Chula Vista, but we called it Chulawana because it was right next to the border. We could take a fucking rock and chuck it over the fucking border from where we lived almost. It was a little bit farther than that, but literally you could see Tijuana from where we lived down there. We would drive. I would have them drive me down to the McDonald's that was right across. The border was like, McDonald's was like right next to the border. Like as you were coming back into the Americas, the first 20 feet, there's a fucking McDonald's to your right. So you immediately see one. So I would go there. I would go have a cheeseburger. My homies would take the stuff down and they would go to set up for the event. I would eat a cheeseburger, and then I would go and I'd walk to the entrance to the Mexican side, where you like the land bridge or the walking bridge. And I knew there was a place where the cameras couldn't see me. There was like one little area in like a 20-foot space that if you stood there, they technically couldn't see you. But they knew what I was doing because it was illegal to flyer. You actually had to have a permit to flyer in certain parts of San Diego, unless, there were certain places you couldn't. But I would stand in this one area where they couldn't see me, and I would hand out my flyer, and my flyer had a map on the back, and literally our club was 90 steps away from right where I was promoting, and I could go like this. I could go, see that right there? That's our club. We could point to our club because it was like right across, and it was one of the first streets down. So you literally could be like, walk 90 steps that way, right there, and that's our club. Come in, spend $7, get drunk, then walk your happy ass to Safari or Senior Frogs, because those were the happening places, or those are the places where the big clubs. I'm like, and then as soon as you get a lady or you get a boy, bring them back, pay $7, and you guys keep fucking drinking all night long for free. And so I fucking got so many fucking people to stop at us first before they went further. And then at the gay club next door, before the gay boys would go to the gay club, when I was standing out smoking a cigarette, when I used to smoke nicotine, I would catch them too. And I'd say, hey, you want to get drunk here first instead of paying $12 a fucking alcoholic, mixed drink over there? Come get drunk with us. We don't care who is anybody, We're all fucking open to the fucking LGBT. There was not the whole alphabet at the time because this was 2001. But we're down with the fucking gay lesbian, gays and lesbians. Obviously, I mean, like I loved Hillcrest. I loved hanging out in Hillcrest in San Diego, the gay area. So we get them in. So I'd hang out there and then go down, and at 11 or 10, probably 11 is when I would go back in and then sit down, hang out, and then spin the pole. One night, I was hanging out in that little dark area where the cops can't see you, and a fucking gangster ass dude fucking walks up and fucking pulls out a knife and is like, "Give me all your fucking money." And I'm like, "Bro, I'm fucking broker than you are. I literally had no fucking money on me." And I'm like, the pigs are like right there, dude. And he goes, "What are you talking about?" And I took 2 steps to the right and I said, "See that camera? Now those police can see us." And he just fucking bolted across the fucking, across. Like, yep, I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to get stabbed. I'm fucking smart. Although I did think for a millisecond I was going to get stabbed. And what sucked, I had no money in my fucking wallet. I had no money on me. I was like, am I literally going to get stabbed for fucking nothing? Because fucking He thinks that I do have money, like, and I'm like, look at me. Do I look like I have money, motherfucker? Like, you're fucking dumb thinking I have money. So at the end of the night, we closed at 2 a.m., 4 a.m. I think there was some type of curfew or something about letting people back over the border or something like that. I don't remember. Oh, service members could only be across the border for so long. So
that makes sense.
We had to we closed at a certain time, and then we just made sure we got everybody who was in the military over, because literally everybody who I ran that club with was in the Navy. And then we did have Marine friends, and then of course every other service as well. I married a Marine, so yeah. Until she moved to Okinawa and then got pregnant by some other dude, and then we got it annulled. But we only did it for money. She's like, I can make like $2,000 more. I can make a couple $1,000s more if I'm married. You want to get married? I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. If you're gonna, she gave me like $600 a month or something like that in the early 2000s.
Pretty popular in the military.
Yeah, exactly.
But wait. So if a woman is married and in the military, they make more money?
Anybody does.
Service member.
Yeah. And there's a handful of other things that you get extra bonuses for as well. So if you have a kid,
for spousal support and shit, isn't it?
It's technically for BAH, for housing and sustenance.
Yeah, there you go. And so I married this chick, a friend, and the night that we were married, we went to the club, and she bet me that she could get laid before I could. So we were out trying to fuck for the first night of being married. I think we both ended up doing it. I don't know who did. I don't remember who did it first, but definitely we both the next morning went, I cheated on you. But then she found a dude that she actually fell in love with in Okinawa when she transferred there, and they had a kid, and I just annulled everything. You know, she just hit me up, and I fucking signed whatever the fuck. I don't even know what the fuck it is, and I don't even tell anybody that I was married, because annulment I think is different than actually being divorced and blah blah.
Like it never happened.
Yeah, so I don't even. And what am I going to get in trouble for if that was not correct? Fuck it.
I need to seek an annulment.
And then should I let me tell the taco story before I talk about the time where I thought I was going to be murdered by my corn dog's brother.
Yay, I love the taco story.
I think I know which taco story that is.
Yeah.
I think almost everybody at this point has maybe heard it, because it is one of my favorite stories to tell. So at the end of the night at 2 a.m., 4 a.m. or whatever, we cleared out the club, and because I walked across, I have to walk back, because they have the reason why I was doing that is because we brought down our own sound system, and at the end of the night, while I was not there, all my friends, because some of them, like 2 of our friends, worked in the Air Force, and they fixed helicopters. They were helicopter engineers or whatever. That's what they did during the day. They made sure the helicopter is fixed to go up and come back down, and whatever breaks, they fucking make sure that. So they're real. Work. Yeah, they're like real techs and like real brain people, right? You know what I'm saying?
I've seen videos and the shit they have to do. How long the maintenance takes, a lot.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
So what would happen every single night? They would open up all the electronical equipment, and they would shove drugs in it and then re-put it back together like it was never taken apart. And then they would pack it into the fucking pickup truck and drive it across the border. We were bringing $10,000 worth of drugs across the border. Okay, our club was only Friday and Saturday night, so it wasn't an every night thing. But for a year straight, we brought pretty much everything. We ended up hooking up with the Mexican mafia, and anything we wanted, we could get. And then you would go to the La Farmacia, and you could get a 10-pack of ketamine, little vials. And what you would do is you'd take water bottles, and you'd open them up, and you drink the water, and then you pour them inside, and you would close it, and you would take a lighter, and you'd lighter it closed, the top, and then you put it in a place where they're all together. And they never knew. We used to do those runs all the freaking time. Once I got off probation, you just go down and you get some of them, and you just put a couple in your backpack, and then you're drinking water while you're walking across, the actual water. and they don't even look fucking twice. They literally just look, okay, have a good day. Anyways, so because they were doing that, and I was on probation for LSD for the second time, and running from the police, I think I had already gotten that charge as well. I was in my car and didn't have a license and was trying to go to school, driving to school, and a cop tried pulling me over, and I actually got away from him. I think he stopped the pursuit because it became too dangerous, because they will do that. They'll de-escalate it, especially if they have your license and your license plate number and other things. So I think he just de-escalated the pursuit, but I ended up not getting caught right then, because I pulled into like a driveway and I went behind a building and I turned 3 corners and then went into a parking lot and then went behind a building and then parked and then got out and ran away from my vehicle. And I don't think that actually helped, but that's what I did. Then I came home after school and was there for about an hour, and then a police officer shows up at the house and is like, yeah, dumbass, I know where you fucking live, you idiot. So they arrested me for that. Anyways, so at the end of the night, I would walk up my dumbass across the border again, because I wasn't going to try to get caught with any more drugs. As we were walking, there was always the taco vendor cart, the taco cart, right? The guy walking around, he's got the little bell and, tacos. So it was 3 tacos for $1. This is 2001. So for $1 American, you can get 3 of these little street tacos. And I think it was no choice of meats. It was just, he opened up a thingy and just put the meat in there. So I would buy everybody tacos, right? 10 people are around me. You got 20 people. Here's the 20, I would, whatever. I didn't care. I would pay for everybody's tacos.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I wanted to make sure everybody at least got some food in their fucking belly after drinking a gazillion drinks for free all night long. So I'm like, here, everybody eat. Wait till everybody got their 3 tacos. As soon as they did, I would take 1 taco and I would swallow it whole pretty much. And then I'd wait for everybody to take a bite of their taco, and I'd take the second taco and I would take a bite of it and I go, I think this is dog. And I think the last was cat. This is definitely more meatier than the... And you could just see all of these fucking... pretty much it was just a bunch of white 19-year-old kids, that just got to San Diego College. They probably never left their house before or the town they live in, right? They've never been exposed to real life outside because they're either 18 or 19 because you can't drink yet, and that's why you go to Tijuana. So all of these like kids that have never experienced life yet just look at it and are like, Fido? Fluffy? You can see they're just like their first pet. They're like, am I eating my pet? And then I'd be like, no, I'm just kidding. It's oh no. Then somebody would usually ask, how do you know that? Or yeah, how do you know that? Or what makes you think that? And every single fucking time that happened, a group of cats or dogs would be running down the street, and he literally would just be like right there. Every single time they would be like, how do you know that? Or oh, look, they get the meat from right there. You see that pack of dogs running down the street? Yeah, I'm so mean. And then after that, I'd be like, no, I'm just kidding. It's probably real meat. I don't know. I don't fucking know. And I'd always wait for homie to like leave. I wouldn't do it right in front of him, obviously, And then you get all the fucking drunks to, get all the drunks and It's because one time I did eat one, and I was like, this meat is not like normal. I was like, this kind of seems like it's maybe not on up and up, but if it's cooked properly, then screw it, I mean? So, yeah. All right, so the almost being murdered again story. I don't know. Have I talked about him almost being murdered? Oh, I guess talking about
you talked about almost getting stabbed at the border.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, there's that, and then almost getting killed on mushrooms at the thing. But anyways, I know I'm a dickhead and I'm an asshole and I do not deserve what I've done in my past. I really need to actually that's why I'm trying to be nice, and I try to do things as positive as possible, because I did a lot of horrible shit when I was younger. So here's one story about that. Corn Dog's brother and his girlfriend at the time, Sierra, had just broken up the day before. And we had kind of been flirting with each other before then, or I mean, it was kind of flirty, but it's like, you're fucking my homie's fucking chick, so I'm not gonna. But she like comes to the club, and she's like, yeah, I'm not dating fucking homie no more. You kind, like, let's hang. And I'm like, okay. We're getting drunk. We did some drugs. We were hanging out in one of the booths. I don't remember if I knew he was there yet, or I should have assumed he was going to be there. But all of a sudden we start making out and we see a shadow over us. And we stop and we look over and it's fucking homie. And we're like, oh, fuck. Like, we really didn't want nobody to find out, or, I wasn't thinking, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fucking whatever. Like I said, I know I fucked up, and I know I should not have done that to my homie's brothers, Anyways, the night ends. Her and I are kind of keeping distance. I mean, we're like, we're still like, dude, we kind of want to hook up, but like, fuck, we can't do it in front of homie. And somehow we all end up at his brother's house. And he lives like 45 minutes away from the border. So it's like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Like, the sun is probably about ready to come up. I don't know. And we're at his pad, and he looks at me and goes, hey, bro, do you know how to fucking drive a stick? No, he's like, hey, do you know how to drive a lowrider? And I'm like, man, I barely learned stick. He goes, let me teach you. Hey, Sierra, let's go. And then other people were like, I want to go. And nope. So homie fucking gets me and her in his car, and we go and we fucking go to a parking lot, like a Kmart parking lot. And he's like, okay, here, I'll teach you how to fucking drive. And it's like a fucking souped up little Honda, it's like 2 inches from the ground and shit. And so I'm like, whole time I'm like, dude, homie's gonna kill us. Like, I'm just waiting for him to fucking, wait till we go around the corner or something. And I knew he had guns. I knew he carried a gun. I knew that shit for sure. And because he was one of like the security guard people for us, like we had a couple people who were those type of people. So we didn't have to be 100%, and I couldn't carry anything because I was on probation. So I couldn't have a gun. Although I never actually did, and I still won't because I'm too mental to have one around me. I mean, there are some around, but they're not around me. Anyways, so I'm learning how to freaking drive this lowrider car, and then I think at some point he's like, yeah, well, I understand, man. Like, she doesn't want to be with me, so like, you're cool, Slint. You're cool, Rainbow, or whatever. And it's like, fuck, dude, that shit was fucking scary. I totally thought, just like when I went to go visit, I was dating this girl, and her parents were making crap tons of meth in New Mexico, and they were shipping it out to us to sell. And like, it was like, wait. So we go to visit them one time, and homie I knew he didn't like me, but homie wakes me up at 6 a.m. right before the sun is coming up, and he goes, we're going to go feed the hogs. And I'm like, fuck, I'm dead. I'm like, I know what that means. Right? So he hands me this huge bucket of fucking slop, and it's like gotten like rotting meat in it, and like fucking like old leftovers, and like, it's shit. It just stunk. I mean, I guess it couldn't have been exactly rotting meat, but it was not good. So I'm carrying this, and the hog pen is like 100 yards away from the house. So we're walking, and he's like talking kind of and saying shit, and like, fuck, I'm going to die. What do I do? Do I let him kill me, or do I try to defend myself and end up dying in the middle of the woods because I can't, like, after I kill him, I can't go back? Like, what do you do after you kill your girlfriend's dad because he tried to kill you? Like, how do you explain that to anybody, right? And of course, I'm on pills that her mom kept giving me, and then of course I was spun out. And I've been clean for 16 years, 17, I don't know how many, but I was high as crap as well. So I'm fucking walking out going, how am I going to kill this old man? Do I have to kill an old man right now? Fuck, what have I got to do? We get to the pig pen. The pig pen that he has, the hog pen he has, it's like dug like 4 feet into the ground, and there's a fucking like 2-foot wood railing around it. So the hogs are like stuck in there. I mean, there is a way for them to get out in this one way. You could put a ramp in, but they're like in this like pit. And he's like, lean over and fucking put in the slop. So I'm leaning over this fucking fence, pouring this crap in, going, I'm dead, 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 dead.
Shit, is he standing right behind me? Is he close enough to push me?
He was right fucking behind me. I think he just did that to show me, you know, like, I could kill you at any time, bro, and nobody would find you. Do you realize how easy this would be for me to do? I think is what the hint he was trying to give me. So yeah, we walk back, and yeah, that relationship lasted a couple more days, and then I was like, because the main thing was, and I'll tell the other story about this, the horrible stuff about people and being around kids around drugs, is they one of her sister had like a 7-year-old or something, and in the kitchen they always had a fucking plate of meth sitting there with like lines on it, or just like, and the 7-year-old would come around every once in a while, and it could get its hand up there, and every once in a while, like, it would get its hand into it, and you're like trying, you know,
oh Jesus,
get the, yeah, and so the kid was fucking getting spun out. I mean, obviously, like, what the fuck? But you can't be like, hey, you can't do that, you know, like, I'm stuck in the woods in New Mexico. The nearest like real town is like 20 miles away. Like, you're in the fucking like actual middle of nowhere at their house. So I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like, what?
Oh, kid.
Yeah, just like the time when we were buying acid from this dude like 2 hours away from San Diego. So we had to drive 2 hours. So we get there at like 2 a.m. Yeah, it was around like 2 a.m. when we finally got there, and we knock on the door, and a fucking like little kid answers the fucking door, and we're like, what the fuck? And we're like, where's Joey or whatever the fuck, Sean or something like that, right? And the kid like runs in and like grabs this lady, and this lady comes up, and she is fucking gone. I mean, her eyes are like this big, fucking pupils are this big. I think she probably had a pipe in her hand probably at the time, and probably a lighter. They always got the lighter in their hand, you know. I did too. I'll admit I probably had a lighter stuck in my head for a quarter of my life, because I began doing hard drugs at 15 and 16 and then quit when I was 25. So I partied way harder than I needed to. So
yeah, anyways, I began doing drugs when I was like 14, and
yeah,
I finally quit 2 years ago from everything.
Yeah. So the lady is like, oh, dude's in the back room tattooing himself, is what she said. So I look at Corndog and I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. We as we were passing what is supposed to be a dining room over here, there's no table, there's no dining stuff. It's next to the kitchen, and there's just 5 kids running in circles chasing each other at 2 a.m. and they're just like loud.
Wow.
And me and Corndog were just like, fuck, bro, like, crap, like, should we leave now? But we're both like, dude, we're here to like do something, you know, that's how we're gonna pay for our next stuff, right? Getting these vials of L so then we're like, fuck, whatever. You keep walking, and then you look over at the fucking living room, and there's like 5 fucking people sitting on this couch, and each one's got a fucking pipe, and they're watching. There's something on the TV. There's something. I don't remember if it was a TV or just a painting, because I may have just been that high walking into the house. Oh, that was the other thing. As soon as they opened the door, both of us literally almost fell backwards out, because it fucking smelled so hardcore of meth. Like, literally, we got hit with like a cloud. We were both like, fuck, dude. And like, I had been doing it for a long time. You know, this was not my first rodeo, and we were just like, crap. So when we walk in, you look over, and just like, again, 5 people, they just have their own little piece, and so we're like, what the fuck?
That's fucking ridiculous.
We start walking through the house. All of a sudden, the house becomes an extension, like a double wide trailer is extended onto the house. So instead of being a backyard or a garage or something, it now went into this other like double wide trailer, and then it turns into a maze. We're literally like going through these little hallways, turning these weird corners, and all of a sudden it opens to a fucking room, and homie is fucking sitting there with a machine, pipe in his hand, lighter in his hand, a fucking tattoo machine in his hand, and he's fucking just going to town on his leg. He's just fucking tattooing the shit out of himself. And we're like, what the fuck?
Like,
and then
what
he looks
the
up
fuck
and
did we just walk into?
Yeah, exactly. And he looks up and he goes, hey, you guys want a tattoo? Nope. I'm good.
Hard pass.
We're just here to fucking get rid of L, bro. And we weren't even there for that other thing that they were all doing. We were there for fucking some liquid. The thing about how we used to do it back in the day was I was the guinea pig. I was always the tester because I could pretty fast figure out if it was good or not. There was a handful of things I would do, like you look somebody in the eye while you're taking it, or you like, you're sampling and you look them in the eyes, and if they can stare you down, you probably got good drugs. If they start fucking looking away and being all sketch, you're like, what's wrong with it? What is this cut with? Did you guys step on it first? So anyways, we get these. I take a hit. It does what my tongue it's supposed to do on my tongue. Good L, to my experience, would, wherever the liquid was, it would make these little itty bitty spikes in that little area. It would go pss, 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 and it feel like there was little spikes entering my tongue. And that's how I usually would know that, like, I felt like it was. And if it had too much 151 in it, it would only burn the top of my tongue. It wouldn't burn into my tongue. And then if there was no burn, then it's fake. Well, even though not 100% of that time, but that was what I would do. So we're sitting there and I have to wait for it to kick in. So we're just sitting there breathing in all this fucking smoke. And homie's just like tattooing the fuck out of himself. And then all of a sudden, I start kind of tripping. And I'm like, yes, real. Let's go. We don't need to be here anymore.
Let's go.
When this thing really kicks in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of let's go, I got work in the morning, so.
Okay, we'll see you, Brandon. Thank you for being here.
I'm gonna go and like.
Yep.
People maybe before I go read what I got on the.
There's nothing worse than having a Cranberries song stuck in your head, in your head, in your head, in your head, in your yeah.
Good night.
Yes.
Good night, Brandon.
So we bolt out of the house as fast as possible. We didn't say shit to nobody. We just fucking bolt out the front door, get in the car, start driving. The sun is starting to rise. Yeah, the sun is starting to rise at that point, I think. Yeah, something about the sunset. I don't know if it was sunsetting or the sun was rising. I don't remember 100%. But I'm just looking out the window, fucking chilling. And then all of a sudden we pull off to the side of the road, and we're already on the freeway, and pull off to the side of the road, and fucking Corndog looks at me and goes, fuck, man, I'm falling asleep at the wheel again. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, dude, I haven't slept for like 3 days, and like I just can't stay awake. And I'm like... And he had flipped 3 cars in the last month falling asleep at the wheel.
Jesus.
He literally had like crashed like multiple cars falling asleep at the wheel. So that's
what happens when morons crash and try to drive.
Yeah, and so that's why I was like, I'm fucking frying my nuts off right now. But
we're probably safer with me driving.
Well, me kill us or you kill us? I'd rather me kill us. Fuck it. Like if I'm going to be the one to kill us, let's do it. Let me do it at least. I don't want you to fucking do it,
Right.
So get in the driver's seat. The speedometer is not staying. I'm trying. I think I'm keeping my foot still. And the RPMs are not going up and down, but the fucking miles per hour kept doing this weird thing. They kept going up and down in a weird way, but not the RPMs. So I'm sitting here going, what the fuck? I don't even know how fast I'm going. I don't know what's going on. The lines, yeah, the lines are just solid lines. Like if there was a dotted yellow line in the middle, it was solid the whole fucking time. Everything was just solid, and every sign was just so glowing I couldn't even read it. So I'm just fucking white knuckling this shit, going to fucking hope I'm going the right fucking speed. All of a sudden, a motorcycle cop, fucking highway patrol motorcycle cop, CHP, fucking pulls up behind me.
Ah, shit.
And I'm just in the fucking slow lane, and I'm just going what I think is the fucking right speed. And I think that I'm keeping my foot the right, I think I'm doing everything right. That motherfucker followed us for so fucking long. And then all of a sudden, got off on an exit. And I was like, how the fuck are we not in jail right now? What the fuck? Like,
nice.
I somehow, and then finally we get us to fucking his
The
house.
drug angels are watching over me.
Yeah. I somehow get us back to fucking, our pad and fucking get out and fucking start kissing the ground and shit. It was like, God damn it. I don't even understand how we fucking got through that shit.
Right.
It was like the time. Cheese and rice. Okay. Oh, this is so great. I don't even have to ask anybody any questions. I can just like remember stupid stuff. We'll go a little bit longer and then we'll go ahead and end it. We're almost at 3 hours. We had bought these ecstasy pills that had oh my god, what hallucinogen was it? God damn it. It's not DMT. If
psilocybin.
Anyways, no, it's a brown. It can be a brown powder. God,
Heroin?
anyways, no. It's an actual like
Don't hallucinate
hallucinogen.
from heroin, dear.
Yeah, it's an actual hallucinogen that I can't remember.
Ayahuasca?
No,
ayahuasca is a
it turns
liquid.
into and it's a brown powder. Whatever. It's a hallucinogen, and we bought these pills. They were called triple stack euros. So they had a euro symbol in the top, and they were fucking like this tall.
Oh,
They were fucking huge. And the person
I miss
who
triple stacks.
yeah, the person who mixed them or the person who made them was not keeping them centrifugal while they were pouring them. So the drugs turned out to be in certain layers. So you would take like one pill and it would just be pure ecstasy. You get no hallucinogens at all. And then you would take other ones and you were just frying your nuts off the whole fucking time. It's pissing me off that I can't remember what it is.
Like
I'm sure I will at some point. So we went to this rave 2 hours away-ish from San Diego. It was at a paintball field, and they had neon lights everywhere, black lights. And so there's just like fucking neon splatters fucking everywhere around this place, on trees and on the ground. And like, it was so fucking trippy. We took our pills. I found this cute little girl that had these fuzzy gloves to be my little roll buddy. So her and I were sitting in this little like grassy little place, and there was a laser show going on with multicolored lasers making like horses that were like galloping and like flowers that were like blooming and then kind of dying. And so we're sitting there watching. All of a sudden, over the loudspeaker, we hear, "The police are here. Everybody's got to go. If you don't move your car, they're going to start towing." I'm like, fuck, dude. I just found this cute little girl. My stuff started kind of kicking in a little bit. I was going to have a good night. We were in this like lovely venue. Okay. All right. So my philosophy is when the cops show up, you got to be the first people to leave, because they do not hem up the people who are the first to leave. They hem up the people who are last, because it's the people who are last that are ones hiding something or, not trying to see the cops. Mm-hmm. So I run to the front. My friends start slowly showing up, take him to the car. God, it's pissing me off. I can't remember what it was that was in it. Anyways, we all get in the car. There's 2 cars, loads of people that we had. I'm in Jason's car. Ken's driving the other car. We begin driving. And as we're getting down the highway...
do you remember what letter it may have started with?
A D or a G or a...
LSD, psilocybin, peyote, DMT, PCP, ketamine, salvia divodorum, ibogaine, N-bomb, GHB, DMT, psilocybin, ecstasy, LSD, peyote, bar salt, methamphetamine, nabilone, dronabinol.
I'm sure that's not gonna ever. Hold on.
Yeah.
Mescaline?
Mescaline, yeah.
There we go. It's mescaline. Yeah, mescaline. Sorry. Yeah. So it was laced with mescaline.
This is bad country.
Yeah. So, like I said, some pills didn't. You would just roll your balls off. It was just feely touchy. So we're driving, and I noticed that bricks are starting to build in front of the car. Right? There's a brick here, brick. And then all of a sudden, there's a brick wall in front of the car, and like I always say, once we touch it, it's gonna go away, right? Like a hallucinogen, like I've done talking about all this stuff. You touch it and it turns into whatever it kind of is, you know? So I'm like, fuck it. As soon as we hit the brick wall, it's gonna go away, right? We fucking hit the brick wall and bricks go flying around the car. Like we hit a brick fucking wall. And it my brain thinks that like we hit. And I just go, as long as Jason isn't seeing this, then we're okay, right? I'm like, as long as he's okay, we're as soon as I fucking think that, he goes, dude, I keep seeing women and children running across the freeway, and I'm like, it's just a hallucination. When we hit it, they'll disappear. I keep hitting them and their body parts keep flying around the car.
Oh geez.
Wow.
But we're on ecstasy. We're on ecstasy, right? So we're smiling. Like I can't be sad. We're about ready to die. Literally, I'm just like, and then Brandon in the next seat, because we're in a VW bus, so driver, passenger, and I'm in the no spot behind, and I'm standing, sitting like this with holding the driver's seat and holding the passenger seat, and I'm sitting kind of in between because there's nothing, there's just a flat ground. So I'm just sitting in between. I'm just like, fuck. And then Brandon says, "Oh, I see." I don't remember what he said. This was just around the time that cell phones became prevalent or became kind of a thing, and we needed cell phones because we sold drugs. So we're sitting there, phone rings. Ken, the driver from the other car, goes, "Guys, I'm fucked up," and I'm like, I don't know what to do. He's like, "I keep seeing end of road signs in the middle of the freeway," and he's like, "As soon as we hit it, it's going to disappear." But then we hit it, and the fucking road ends, and I fly off a cliff. And then I blink my eyes, and I'm back on the road.
Jesus Christ.
And we're like 2 hours away from home driving, and it kicked in like as soon as we got on the freeway. So we're just like white knuckling it. We're all like helping each other. Like, yeah, you're in the lines. I think I don't know. And like, again, I kept seeing brick walls up here, and then we explode through them, and then the road's there again. Like it's a literal red brick wall. And then we go through it, and then the freeway is there again. Like it keeps blanking out, like, and turning back on. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like a movie almost. And so we're just sitting there, and like somehow we freaking get back to San Diego, and we're like, where the fuck are we gonna go? We can't go to anybody's house. We were still living at home. This was like when we were 18. Like we were young. So we're like, fuck, what do we do? So we're like, go to Rolly Hill Park. There's a park that you can park at. And you can park your car in a situation to where you can see the cops coming from up the hill. And if you see the cops, you can go and like hide in the bushes, or you can go hide where they can't see you. So we're like, fuck it, go there. So we go and we park, we get out. Fuck yeah, we didn't die. We all hug each other, kiss the ground. We go and we sit down, we start smoking a joint. And all of a sudden, we hear, dog! All of us get up and start fucking running. It sounded like a fucking pit bull or a dog running at us. A sprinkler head fucking pops up. God damn it. So then we go and we fucking sit down 20
Just once in my life, I wish I could experience shit like that.
It was scary as fuck though, dude. Like it was fucking hardcore. Like I'll talk about the time that I took Foxy and 2CB7 too. But anyways.
Right, but I have never in my life experienced a hallucination ever. I can't say ever. The only thing I ever seen was when I did ketamine. I seen mermaids instead of fish, but that's about it.
When I did salvia, I saw my friends being eaten by a hippo made out of fabric.
My friend said that when he did salvia, he's seen the lines on my bedroom wall like moving to different places and in different directions and swirling.
See, the people I've known that took salvia said that like the high lasted like a few minutes.
Right, but with salvia, because salvia is so strong,
you get thrown into different dimensions.
Right,
you literally get thrown into a dimension, and then it pulls you back like within a minute. Like literally, I've seen like 7 different dimensions of just insanity.
Right,
and then was pulled right back from it.
Salvia was still legal in the UK.
Right, but with
so
things like salvia,
many of my friends when we were kids would take salvia because you could buy it legally in the shop.
Yeah,
we would order it offline, and we'd get it in little vials in the mail.
You can buy salvia plants at like Home Depot.
The head shops.
All garden centers sell a form of salvia. Like I think what is it?
Because it's
thyme or something is
it's an actual spice, yes.
But it's a breed of plants. So there's salvia, something, and the salvia that you use to get high is salvia divinorum or something.
Yeah,
divinorum, yeah.
But with salvia, what you want to do is, because salvia is so strong and intense, you can actually mix salvia with pot, and you can still get the same effect. It's just like if you're going to smoke pure DMT, like the experiences that I've had. Actual dried acacia root, like the actual DMT, dried DMT extracted from the acacia root, or the root itself dried. When you put it together, it's like you put what my brother did the first time I did DMT, because that's what he got me 2 things for my birthday that year. He got me a book, because he usually gets me a book, and he got me and he gave me DMT, and I did it there with him because he's the only one I trust to watch me when I do psychedelics. And he actually put he had the pipe he put it in. He filled the bowl up with about a quarter of the way with weed at the bottom, and then he put DMT on top of it. And then that way, when I started hitting the DMT, first I would start getting the like straight DMT, but then as it burned down, I would start getting the pot on top of that, and it actually will balance that out. But these people that are smoking just straight salvia, they're not.
I was kind of smart when it came to the salvia, because I made the mistake of listening to him the one time and taking like half a pack of fucking Coricidin, and I did not like the fucking way I felt.
Yeah.
So when he wanted me to try the salvia, I was like, let's see how you react first, then I'll try it.
Well, that's because people aren't paying attention. I mean, yes, you can do straight salvia. That's no problem. But you're going to, it's going to be intense. And if you're not used to doing things like that, or have never done a psychedelic at all, then of course it's going to be bad. But
at that point, I had done psychedelics, but they didn't work on me.
Well, right, but what they're not realizing is they're not doing it correctly. Mix your salvia with pot.
Yes,
and that you're still going to get the straight effect of the salvia, but it's going to even it out with the THC.
And or you're not going to just pull it through your bowl either. We used to put a little bit of weed at the bottom, and then we had 80%, so it looked like these little black flakes. We did have the others, but we finally got 80%, I think is what it was, and it was just these little black flakes. You put it in your bong. We had a little bong, put a little thing of weed down there, a little nug, and then you fucking put that shit on top to where you couldn't really see the weed anymore, kind of, but not a shit ton.
Right.
And you just hit it, try to smoke it all in one hit. You just try to clear it. And as soon as you blew out the smoke, you were in a different universe for a minute or two, and then all of a sudden, bam, you were back in reality, sitting there going, "Where the hell did I just go? God damn it! That shit was fucking fun."
Well, it's like I was saying when I did DMT for the first time. Quarter of the bowl was weed.
Yeah.
And the rest of the other 75% of the bowl was DMT, and so like I got. Let's see, 1, 2, I think I got 3 hits down.
Okay.
And I didn't feel anything just yet. And I look at him. And I'm like, I think I need one more. Or no, I got 4 hits down, and I hadn't really feeling it. And I said, I think I need one more. And he just looked at me and he said, "Are you sure?"
No, you don't.
And I'm like, "Yeah, let me get one more." And he handed it back to me, and I put the fire to it. And as soon as I got that hit in, and as soon as I got it in me and let it out, it literally felt like somebody grabbed me by my pineal gland and pulled me out of my body. No, it was amazing. It wasn't a funny experience. It was amazing. It's just like my soul literally got pulled from my body at that point, and I was gone. DMT is very short acting, but it's very, very potent.
Yes.
And technically you're supposed to do it in complete deprivation. But you can have certain things around you to do it with, but they say you're supposed to do it in like complete and utter deprivation. But yeah, and I was gone for like what felt like hours, and when I finally came to after my trip, my brother was sitting right next to me on the porch, and I looked at him and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "How long have I been gone?" And he said, "You've been gone for about half an hour." And I said, "There's no way. There's no way." It felt almost instant. Actually, it felt like, it was almost instantaneous.
Yeah.
And I looked at him and I'm like, "There's no way I've been gone that long." He's like, "Dude, you've been literally sitting there for 30 minutes. And I'm like, I couldn't believe it. But yeah, that's one thing with a lot of people who want to try stuff like that is just, haha, funny. Somebody smokes straight salvia and they freak out and they jump, they freak out and fall out the window. We've all seen that video, I'm sure.
Yes.
But dude, if you're gonna do drugs, more specifically psychedelics, do them right. Just do them right.
And have somebody who's watching you, and there's, whatever.
As a matter of fact, the one thing I'd recommend to anybody that wants to do psychedelics for the first time, read The Psychedelic Experience by Timothy Leary. It will literally change your life.
Sure. All right, folks. I think it's about the time where would we like to play a game before we get out of here, or what does everybody else want to do, or do we want to go into the Discord and play, or how's everybody feeling?
I'm actually like fucking starving.
Okay,
and I want to like smoke another bowl.
Cool. Sure.
I'm gonna head off to bed.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. We'll just meet in the Distant Accords in a little while or something like that, and if everybody's up, maybe play a game or watch some stuff, or maybe we can. Yeah. So thank you all very much. We'll probably do this maybe another time. I'm hoping that the Mango has some talk about it later subjects, so we can do that stream again.
Of course she does.
Yes.
I'd like to do that for all the amazing stories.
Yes.
You're very welcome. Yes. I forget how weird my life has been until we do
these. It's lovely hearing about the stuff that you've gone through, but also that the amount of work that you've put into to change from that lifestyle. And it's so lovely to see one of the good stories, and that's good. People need to see that and see the human behind the person that does those things, but also anyone can change. Anyone can come out the other side of shit.
Yeah.
No one said it would be easy, but no one is hopeless in being able to do it.
Yeah.
Slim, definitely. Oh, go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
I'm definitely a case of that, and that's what I hope with my show and what I do and doing these streams is to show everybody that if my dumbass can do it, then you can figure it out how to do it as well. I mean, I'm nobody special. I've been a junkie. I've been homeless. I've been living the street. I've gone through everything. I've
Slim, you're special to all of us.
Thank you. So thank you all very much. Everybody have a wonderful whatever time of the whatever it is for wherever you are in the zeitgeist. And we will see you all next time. All right, everybody, say bye.
Later.
Bye.